A lot of people were waiting for the Fed announcement later on this month to make a decision if they are going to purchase a home. The California housing market is buzzing, and guess what, guys? So is the Sacramento real estate market. There's a lot of people on that fence, and a lot of people are thinking they might want to buy if rates go down. Two things we know about interest rates. Number one is the Fed rate, mortgage interest rates, two completely different things. Yes, historically they've coincided, but at the same time, don't be confused by that. And number two, and this is a big one, normally if we're seeing any type of drop, well, it's usually baked into the rates prior to the announcement. Now, guys, I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to sell. I'm not telling you even to jump off that fence to think about buying in Sacramento. What we're going to do tonight is I'm going to bring on one of the top mortgage professionals in our area, and we're going to talk a little bit about historically what these announcements mean. If it's your time to buy, what should we look forward to in the market in the coming months? Because guess what, guys? This announcement, good, bad, or indifferent, is going to definitely impact the market. So should you buy? Should you sell? And should you get off that fence? Let's get into the show tonight. This is your Sacramento real estate market update. All right, guys, what is up? We are here with Matt Barba, one of the top lenders in the Sacramento area. Matt, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
So I tried to call Jerome Powell for a comment. He wouldn't answer my calls. So hey, what are you thinking as far as your crystal ball goes? Like, what are you thinking? What do you think is going to be happening on this glorious 17th of September?
I mean, the market right now is predicting like a 92% certainty that the Federal Reserve will cut by 25 basis points, right? There's like an 8% chance we'll get a 50% cut, but I'm riding with that prediction of the Fed's going to cut by 25 basis points September 17th.
Okay. All right. And right now, as we're seeing right now too, if you look at it trending wise, I mean, we're seeing a little bit of a dip. And as we all know, normally the rate, first of all, the Fed rate, mortgage interest rate is completely different. But usually before there's an announcement that rates are going to be cut, the Fed rate is going to be cut, we see these, mortgage interest rates dipping a little bit too. And all that stuff is being kind of baked into the market already. Do you think what we're seeing right now is as good as it's going to get?
Oh, that's a good question. What we're seeing right now on the mortgage rate, though, it's because of the unemployment data, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mortgage rates are moving with employment data. And so since what I find more interesting is that with the BLS jobs report and Trump firing the head of the BLS, right, we're getting fresh data. What feels like fresh data for the first time. What they say, I think it just came out, 911,000 job revisions on the last report. That's almost 1 million jobs, right? And so mortgage rates are moving on that. That's why we've seen a dip. We were riding the 6.5 for a couple months. So to go from 6.5 to 6.3, 6.25 is really just based off unemployment data, which means the economy's hurting, which means Americans are hurting. We really need to get income higher to keep up with inflation.
Yeah, and then we don't even factor in consumer debt and everything too going into the holidays. I mean, that's just brutal right there because we all know we all like to go to Costco to buy us some Halloween and all that kind of fun stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of people right now, who are just kind of waiting for the 17th to come around. They think all of a sudden we might dip a little further. And like I said, and break it down for us a little bit about like the difference between the Fed rate and like mortgage rates, because I mean, there also is a little confusion sometimes that people are thinking it's the exact same thing. Like, give us a breakdown, short-term, long-term, give us a little bit of a breakdown on that too. And this is really good for you guys to kind of know the difference between these two, because sometimes in the news, it can really get a little confusing, especially if you don't live in this world.
Yeah. So the Fed interest rate is basically a short-term rate that banks charge each other to borrow money because they have to have reserves on hand. And so it's the bank-to-bank rate that they charge each other interest. The mortgage rates are based on bonds, right? And so what we will see, though, if the Fed drops rates by 25 basis points, you'll see cheaper short-term debt. So think credit cards, home equity lines of credit, maybe corporate debt, auto loans, right? Auto loans are like on 5-year terms. 5-7 year terms. So we'll see cheaper debt in that regard, which is still good news, right? Because again, even with short-term debt, I don't think a lot of people know you can refinance short-term debt. You can get a new credit card. You can move balances. You can refinance auto loans, right? So you can still take advantage of the Fed change and maybe trade an expensive car loan for a cheaper car loan.
Okay. So for you, like, I guess what I'm saying is like, in kind of your mind though, it's a little bit like, hey, buy to buy, look at what the rates are currently right now. For me, I look at it that way too. I think time your life, don't time the market. I mean, you'll lose more than win on that one. I think for me, I look at it right now and I look at rates and I just say to myself, like it has taken a little bit of a dip, I don't know, because normally what I find is like after the Fed does their announcement, we go actually back up. You know what I mean? Like it's bizarre how that kind of happens. So for me, I kind of look at it and say, I think rates are dipping because you mentioned about the job numbers and the economy just being really, realistically, like, real numbers are coming out and we're kind of seeing that we're not in great shape. And so all of a sudden, mortgage rates are kind of going down. For me, I don't think we're going to hit underneath 6 during the course of this year. I just don't see it happening. I think right now, I think the people like I said, I think the 17th, it's going to shake the trees a little bit or shake the fences to see if people are really on the fences ready to buy or not. But I mean, even this, look at this drastic drop right now, right? Like this week has been pretty good, right? It's been active, but not to the level, Do you know what I mean? That this would normally be maybe like,
right? It lags. That's the one thing too, is like, the real estate market they're not going to see this week's dip for, probably 2 weeks, right? When some people have to redo their pre-approval because they have a lower rate now, so that now they're back in the market looking at homes. So real estate transactions will always lag behind rate dips. Now you're right. What happens is sometimes is the data doesn't line up. The Fed's going to drop rates, right? But because mortgage rates aren't tied to the Fed rate, we could see mortgage rates inch higher, right? It's really data driven, data specific. And right now, the major factor driving mortgage rates are the labor numbers.
Okay.
Now, what I do want to set the precedent, this is national averages, right? Probably for a 30-year fixed conventional loan. I'm seeing plenty of products out there that are under 6%, right? Your government-based loans, FHA, VA, USDA, under 6%. Your adjustable rate mortgages, your jumbo loans, under 6%, right? So I don't like to get hung up on the national average when you might have, you might be an A paper client and you get a sweet deal.
Okay. I think one of the things that we were talking about earlier on this channel, like earlier this year, is, I was saying this earlier in the year, I think it's just, a matter of can we get those 2.75, buyers or homeowners to just jump back into the market, and I don't know. I still think even if we get to the low 6s, I still think there's a lot of people out there with 2.75s and low interest rates, especially in our neck of the woods, Sacramento, that jumped into their forever homes and they're kind of sitting there and they're kind of just looking at this on the sidelines and saying, I might want a little bit more house. I might, been seeing stuff on Zillow now and again, but it's just not going to drag me out of my house. You know what I mean? Like for you, what type of people are you seeing that actually jump in and sell their house during this market?
It's the ones that are looking for a lifestyle change. So specifically, I'm seeing a lot of move up buyers, right?
Okay.
Where the interest rate is being balanced out by their large down payment coming from the equity of their home, right? So I've never seen in my history, down payments consistently between 20 to 50%. The national average for a first-time home buyer on a down payment 7%, right? So see a move-up buyer use that equity, and they're coming in with 40% down, 50% down. They're taking on smaller loans to balance out the adjusted rate. So most of the transactions I'm seeing are actually move up buyers.
Okay. For me, last week we got about 3 calls from people looking to list their homes, and all of them were quoting, "It's been 2 years, cap gains, looking to move, like looking to make a jump." It's interesting. I mean, for me, it was usually for me was like the 3 Ds, right? Death, departing the state, or divorcing. But now I've been getting a lot of calls from people who are kind of thinking about cashing out. Like 2 years, we're done, we're gone. We want to, we want to sell and get out of here. And some of them, one of the calls at least was someone who said, "I think it might have been a mistake for us to buy, and I think we want to kind of like reassess, and we want to, the 2 year thing, and just get out of Dodge." Are you seeing anyone like that? Do you know anyone like that currently?
Seeing a lot are selling within 5 years, not 2 years, but definitely like the COVID purchase was impulsive, right? It was like, we want to get in, rates are good, we can afford it, we're working remote. Um, I am seeing a lot of people looking to list who purchased within 5 years.
Interesting, huh? I mean, prior to COVID, usually a person stayed in their house about 7 years. Then for a little bit, it was kind of like, well, people were kind of staying in their house for a little longer because they had the bigger house. And now it's kind of, now you're seeing how people kind of cash and get out. For me, it's just really, really interesting. I mean, like right now, what we're seeing also in the Sacramento area too is we're seeing a little bit of a drop as far as the median sell price. I don't think it's too much to be worried about. I think our market in Sacramento tends to be one of the stronger markets in the nation. There are a lot of markets I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to be like your Phoenix, your Las Vegas, your like Dallas. I think those markets are hurting. You do business everywhere. So as far as our market comparatively towards other markets that you've seen, what are the markets that if you compare them to Sacramento, what are you seeing?
I mean, I do loans everywhere throughout California, right? So what's interesting is like right now, San Francisco that market's turning around, but the Oakland market's not, right? San Diego market is on fire. Our market is stable. That's what I like. Not too high, not low swings, very stable. But from what I'm hearing right now with the kind of AI gold rush revolution that's going on in San Francisco right now, their rents have doubled in 12 months. Their prices are climbing higher and higher each month. It will be interesting to see what trickle effect that has because everyone seems to move east, right? If you're paying $5,500 to $6,000 a month for rent in San Francisco, you kind of have to wonder what that purchases in the East Bay, right? If the East Bay you want to push up to Sacramento and work remote, like you're kind of curious as to what your rent or what your mortgage payment would turn out to be in the Sacramento market. So it's going to have a trickle effect. It just started, so I think it's still to come. But these we kind of, I say we operate in the micro, right? Oakland condo market is getting destroyed right now. I think they're still down
Really?
like 20%. Yeah.
Ugh, ain't good.
Um,
It's AI is interesting, man. That market is just on fire right now, correct?
yeah, it's just interesting what it's going to do to real estate prices because again, they're hiring at such massive volumes and they're also paying a pretty penny for employees. So it's going to be interesting to see what that effect is, as everything pushes east, as all the construction is pushing east too. In the Bay Area mostly, like they have to build vertical, but out here we're still building east. So it's interesting to watch and see what's going to happen and how much of effect it's going to have. But that just kind of kicked off within the last 6 months.
It's been interesting. I mean, within the last 6 months, we've moved in a lot of people from the Bay that have cashed out, or people who actually were able to work remotely in some of these big like tech companies. Now, Larry Ellison's like the richest man in the world at this point because Oracle was smart. Where are they going to house all these AI, all the AI data and everything too? So Oracle came out their certificates as well too. So Oracle's like, it's always been a big player, but now it's really going to skyrocket. Then you got NVIDIA, then you got Qualcomm. So we've been working with a lot of the tech companies of people who are thinking about, some people cashed out. Some people were just like, I've worked there forever. I'm done. I want to buy the house. I want to live the life. I don't want to be in the Bay right now. It's a little crazy there. I want to get my dream home. And I mean, Sacramento kind of plays perfectly into that as well too, where you don't really have to spend all your pennies and you can still get something pretty amazing here, and you got access to everything. You know what I mean? So I don't know. AI's
Yeah.
AI's just going to keep going, and you do a lot of work in the Bay. I mean, what do you see with these people, like, as far as, because you mentioned rents and everything too? Do you see a lot of people maybe migrating a little bit north?
What part north? North.
Sacramento, good old Sac.
Oh, yeah. I have clients in the peninsula who constantly talk about moving this way, right? So whether they grew up here or they see the space or what you get for your money, you really get a lot for your money, but you get a whole lot when your purchase price is over $1 million, right? So like if their average price is 1.5, it gets you a nice home. Don't get me wrong, but here 1.5, it's just another level of property.
I went out. A friend of mine that has this listing, and I went out there, and he's like, "You gotta see this house. It's crazy." So you go to Newcastle, right? Newcastle is like 42 minutes from downtown Sacramento. Beautiful. I mean, guys, Newcastle is absolutely gorgeous. When you think of Lake Tahoe, you think of that vibe. Newcastle's kind of it. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So I go there, and he's like, "Yeah, call when you get down the driveway, and they'll let you up." So we went up this driveway, and literally, it was like you buy this like 3,000 square foot house. It had a guest house, and it was like its own hill. It was like located on its own hill. It was like over 5 acres, and it was like for under 1.4. I mean, it was just unbelievable, this house. And like, I'm dropping the video on Friday at 7 o'clock, guys, at 2. But I was just so awestruck by the idea that like this is what people in the Bay Area and this is what people in other areas want. They're like, I want to live somewhere where honestly I can get my privacy. I can have the guest house if I want to Airbnb it, if I want to bring in some people. I mean, this house in Newcastle just absolutely blew me away. Like, I was like, you're buying a hill. You're buying your own hill, your house, your guest house. You're buying like there's like grass, there's like all sorts of stuff you can do there too. And they cleared it away too. So I was talking to Javier, and the fire insurance isn't going to be that brutal on it as well too. And it was just like 42 minutes from downtown Sacramento. I mean, Folsom, as you see it, Folsom's like what, with the 50 and everything too, it's maybe like 28, 30 minutes or something at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that ain't that bad. And you get yourself your privacy, your Tahoe vibe and everything too. I mean, so for all you Bay Area people thinking about moving out here, man, I'm telling you, some of the stuff you can get in Sacramento, in the Sacramento area, is just it's just mind-boggling. I mean, you live in El Dorado Hills. I mean, you must see that stuff because the thing with Matt is he's got houses here and there and everything too. So he's going back to the Bay, and you're seeing the stuff in El Dorado, and I'm sure you're telling all your buddies in what's it called, Danville, about what you can get here, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially for, to be honest, the street I grew up on was a bunch of like 60s ranch homes. They are being purchased for $1 million, torn down, and being resold for $4 million. So again, like they're buying $1 million teardowns. Here you can get $1 million turnkey. But I encourage you, like, it took me a while to really explore up here. I never explored up here, and one day we had some family up here. We made the trip, and I encourage you to come take a drive one weekend. Like, hit the sites, check out Apple Hill, Folsom, El Dorado Hills, Newcastle, downtown. Like, see if it's something that you like.
I mean,
Mark will show you around.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we do great tours, but Sacramento can be a little daunting. We worked with people too who've like, I like Sacramento. I just don't know where to start in Sacramento. Where do I start? And it can be a little overwhelming. I mean, because some of the spots I look in Sacramento, I'm like, you wouldn't even know that they even existed unless you like lived here or kind of like knew someone who lived there. You know what I mean? Like I look at it and I'm like, what's it called? Let's think of an area. I don't know, like Laguna in Elk Grove with the man-made lakes and everything too. You'd never even know that existed. You'd be like, man-made lakes. I remember the first time when I moved here a long, long time ago that I ran into those man-made lakes in Elk Grove, and I was like, what is this? I don't even understand. How did I miss this? So I think that like As far as I go, like I think Sacramento's a great spot. But I would say Sacramento's kind of like Los Angeles where it's spread out a lot too. So if you do get here and you really need to kind of divide out the area because I mean, you'd be driving forever. I mean, between like what? I mean, how long would it take you to get between like Rockland and El Dorado Hills?
Ooh, oh man, that's a tough drive too because there's no like direct access and freeway. So it depends what part of Rockland, but it can be as if you hit the freeway 25 minutes. If you're going like deep Rockland, you might be like 40 minutes. But I would
Okay.
start with like, you know, I remember we started here and then I had a friend who was like, you need to drive through Land Park. Like, boom, you know. And another friend's like, you need to drive through the pocket. So, then we moved up here, you drive through Fab 40s. Like, yeah, just slowly hit each little spot at a time and you'll find what you like.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got something for everyone here. You got like golf course communities, you have mountain biking, mountain biking trails, you like boats, there's communities that honestly almost every single house has an area where you can put your boat. I mean, there's just so many different communities here in the Sacramento area. But okay, let's get back to like a topic at hand. One is if rates kind of dip, let's just say Fed, yada yada, we're down to 6.1, 6.2. You know, I mean, if you look at our market in general, where you look at this, I mean, if you look at other markets, guys, I mean, you look at Phoenix and Houston, this is just like they would pray for something like this. I mean, this year over year isn't bad with the type of economy we had. Houses sold year over year, we're up. Days on the market is definitely increasing. Yes, we get that. But here's the thing about our market in general, comparatively towards other markets in the United States, we haven't been that bad. I think as far as, if rates dip a little bit, I think we're going to be on fire again. I mean, I think our area is growing, is expanding. I mean, all the Melloroos are going in that people don't like to pay are going towards new schools, new everything too. I mean, I think we're in good shape. I mean, that doesn't give you a 100% guarantee on stuff. But if you grab this and just grab it and you can go to Redfin and type in like Dallas housing market or like Bay Area housing market and everything too. And if you just look at the stats, Sacramento for the most part, yeah, we got hit a little bit as far as like a market like we're like this, but there's a lot of markets that their property prices went down. It's just sluggish. Days on the market is in the 3 digits. We're not too bad. And I think if we could kind of rebound maybe, and I'm not really sure if any of the rebounding is going to happen towards the end of this year, but I think next spring I'm a little optimistic. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting because right now you can still get, I mean, right now to me seems like very advantageous for buyers in the sense that you got a little bit of a rate dip, 0.25%, maybe half a
Right.
percent, depending on when you first shopped. But there's still like because of the market conditions, you still can get seller concessions to buy down your rate into the fives, right? So that is the big question: is will this rate dip be enough where it's now again a full blown seller's market and buyers are competing and having to overpay? That is like the big question moving forward. Right now, I think it's that sweet spot. We got new data. Uh, Real estate transactions are going to lag behind interest rate movement, where buyers can still squeeze out some concessions either from builders or from sellers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and you can kind of take advantage. But if rates go in, I mean, again, we received 12 new pre-approval applications just this week when rates dipped, right?
Yeah.
And that's just
I'm,
me. I mean, how many other banks and lenders are out there?
yeah. No, I mean, I think, like I said, like for me at least, I look at it. You have to really, you kind of got to look at the Sacramento market against other markets, and just kind of, and then you kind of realize the situation you're really in here. You know what I mean? Like if you just looked at it, like, and you look at it right here, and you're like, oh man, look at this. Home prices are dipping a little bit too, but then you look at other markets. I mean, like it just puts it kind of all in perspective as far as what we're doing. Um,
Yeah.
and
Let me give
I
you an
still think there's a
example.
go for it.
Just like for like what, like you said, what is out there, what is possible here. I had a client, he makes $80,000 a year, has 2 car loans. Basically, we could pre-approve him with his down payment up to 300,000. How many properties are in Sacramento at 300,000? Not many, right? If not
Mm-mm.
zero. But we changed his property type to a duplex. We use that extra income on the extra unit that income would be bringing in. Now we qualified him up to 450. You know how many duplexes are in the Sacramento area at 450,000?
We got
40.
some.
40. I don't see that in very many markets where you can go into just by changing the property type to a duplex and you have 40 different options at or around that price point. Right. And so that's where I think like the market, specifically this area, has a lot to offer in forms of like property types at advantageous price points.
Agreed. I mean, the other thing too about this market is it plays towards a lot of different people. Like for the investors, it plays well for the investors because we have so much job diversity here. For the first time home buyer, yes, I mean, it's not as affordable as it was like a while ago, but at the same time, with all the new homes, like the KHOVs and everything offering amazing incentives, you still have a break there as well too. So there is something kind of for everyone here. I mean, for the luxury buyer, you don't have to spend all your pennies. I mean, you cash out on some like nice Nvidia stock. You come here, you get your dream home for $1 million if you feel like it, and then all of a sudden the rest can go into some investment properties, and you have to work again. I mean, there are so many options in our area, which is nice. All right, Brad here, Oceanside. Brad, how you doing, man? Oh, hopefully you got the text I sent you too, where you can get some info for you for those active communities, hopefully by Friday. So let me know if you got that text, but welcome back to the area. So Brad's an interesting one too. He's looking for active communities here in the Sacramento area. And for the most part, like, active communities, I mean, like one of the things I love about the Sacramento area is that it's really honed in on the active community market. I mean, active community is just, I mean, I look at it. I was telling Brad, actually, we were on the phone. I'm like, active communities, they're like cruise ships on the land. They're not even like, they're bringing in like, I mean, the one at Toll Brothers Regency, they're bringing in like food truck Wednesdays. They're bringing in bands. They're bringing in like microbreweries. And I talked to the sales reps at Toll Brothers, and they're like, man, that Pink Flamingo, they're on that Pink Flamingo till like 8 o'clock at night, partying, having fun. I was like, that ain't bad. What do you think of the community here?
It's awesome. I mean, we were watching a pickleball tournament a couple weeks ago, right? And it was packed, so it was cool. It was cool to see. The people really rally around it, which is cool. So it's not like they offer it and no one shows up. They offer it and people come out, so it's cool.
Well, I mean, also, and here's the thing, guys, do not be confused between the active communities and retirement homes. Completely different thing. The active communities are just like fun. I mean, they are crazy fun. I mean, like I said, the one at Turkey Creek, a lot of people like the Taylor Morrison one at Turkey Creek. And Brad, we might need to check this one out for you too, even though Lincoln might not be your thing. But I've had people actually go to the Taylor Morrison Turkey Creek because they have pool service. They don't have it at Toll Brothers Regency, and people wanted pool service. It was like Cabo San Lucas in Sacramento, man. Living the dream, man. Living the dream. Brad says, I had the opportunity to meet and spend time with Mark. Almost bought last year. He's a great, very responsive and patient and knowledgeable. Hope to do business soon. Highly recommend Mark. Thanks, Brad. I appreciate it. And hopefully you got the text, like I said, I sent over your way. I should have some info for you. Now, Brad did mention something to me as far as like he wanted to, because one of the biggest things for people moving to Sacramento is everyone's kind of freaking about home insurance, like fire insurance and everything too, which I get. Like for me, that would be one of those things that I would need to know before I even pull the trigger on a home, making sure I didn't get that grandfather data, and I would want to know exactly what I'm getting into. But I was also telling Brad, here's the thing, Brad, specifically is all these new home communities are very, very are very situated. They're kind of built right, I guess you could say, modern fire kind of like retardant stuff as well too. Like, and they're also very much like, here's the thing with Melrose, as much as we hate it, Melrose pays for brand new fire departments, police departments and everything too. So they tend to be a little bit easier, and if fire insurance, home insurance doesn't tend to be a problem. But again, like I would definitely look into it, and we will make sure to hook you up with Javier. What do you think about that as far as new homes and home insurance?
I mean, yeah, your policy is way cheaper because again, they're up to code. The electrical's up to code. It's a new roof. What else are they looking for? Sprinkler systems, sprinkler suppression systems. So they're much, much more affordable policies. Um, I mean, they're easy to get. Our clients turn them around. Not, it's never been an issue to get insurance in my experience on new construction.
Oh yeah. Brad says save about $100,000 or more buying over plus 55. Communities gated, woo, quiet and safer and gated. If it was me and I was going active community too, I would probably get myself a golf cart. I'd be driving around with my golf cart, relaxing, enjoying life, man. But I mean, I'll tell you something. For those people who are like thinking, I don't want to go active community, it's a retirement community. Oof, you are completely incorrect. It is like amazing. I mean, I would say just take a look at Toll Brothers, like I said, Regency, go see these communities. Absolutely, absolutely like beautiful, beautiful communities, pool, the whole 9 yards. I would say the only thing that would be kind of a little negative about the active communities is the fact that if you really like want your privacy, I mean, you get your privacy, but it's like, I mean, it is people walking around a lot and everything too. So I don't know. I think they're fun. Glad to hear about insurance. Yeah, and we'll take care of you, Brad. I promise you that. All right. Arrived here late, but happy to be here. Glad to have you. Another thing too is I would say this, and this goes to out to all the people that are tuning in tonight too. I would say like new homes right now are big business here in Sacramento. Some people poo-poo them, but for me, I think that, I mean, Matt, what do you think our market would be like here in Sacramento if we didn't have the building we had right now, like the new homes? I mean, what do you think?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I feel like the resale values would be sky high. You know, I don't know. That's a good question. It's because again, there's so much of it, right?
Yeah,
There's so much of it. There's been such an influx of new families, um, and again, their building plans they seem endless right now, right?
yeah.
Like one day, Folsom and Elk Grove are going to be touching each other. Um, so yeah, I just have to imagine the resale values would be much, much higher if we had
Yeah.
the same demand that new construction is brought in.
It would be nuts. I mean, I think, if we were stuck with just our resale inventory, which before COVID, that's kind of like what you normally saw here in Sacramento. The amount of building they're doing since COVID, that was never here in Sacramento before. You get builders building here and there, but it wasn't like this type of thing. And now, because, of all the new home communities, all the new builders and everything too, I mean, it's really kind of almost, I would say also kind of jump started Sacramento a little bit more too, because now you got like newer schools. Do you know what I mean? Like they're putting in schools, fire departments, police departments. And I see some of these communities also designed really, really nice as far as like modern, kind of like, the Whitney ranches and everything too. Like I look at it and I go, yeah, there's a lot of people who poo poo new homes and are, they're too close and everything too. But I would say that, there could be a chance that either we'd go in one direction where resale would skyrocket, or the other thing too is that you'd see some of these places that would just not really be maintained as well. And we wouldn't be pushing the envelope with so many new things happening in the Sacramento area. Like, I mean, we are getting a surf park in Roseville. Top Golf is coming in North Natomas. I mean, the amount of things that are happening in Sacramento, I'd say in a large part is for all the new home building that's happening here. And also all the new people who are, coming into Sacramento. Some of the first time home buyers are saying, you know what? If I was stuck in the resale market, I wouldn't be able to buy, but that 3.99K house offering gets me in the door in a house. It's brand new, got solar. I'm happy as can be. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. It also brings in new business. I mean, we're seeing, people opening new restaurants, social clubs, taking a chance and going self-employed on something that they've always been passionate about. So, I mean, it's pretty cool to see that as well. Like, it's not just the housing, right? It's the small businesses that are being created that come with it.
Also, the future of small businesses. I was talking to a lot of people too. And, we always have this conversation about West Roseville. As far as like West Roseville, it's right now, there's not a whole lot out there. And I just look at it from a common sense point of view, where it's like in West Roseville, they're building, I mean, they've got to be building more houses than any other spot in the Sacramento area. And I think to myself, I'm like, if I'm a dentist or I'm thinking about opening a restaurant and I see a captive audience of like 30,000 new households in West Roseville, like I'm building a restaurant right smack dab in the middle of that because those are my customers. That's my base. I mean, we move in a lot of people who do a lot of different things in the Sacramento area, and a lot of them are like moving in. They're like, yeah, there's a lot of people moving into Sacramento, and they're eyeing spots like that Folsom. In Folsom Ranch, there's these new commercial developments. They're sold out already. They're done. They're rented. They're good. They're done. Everyone's buying into it. So I would say for people who are looking at West Roseville, people who are looking at Rancho, people looking at all these spots and thinking, man, there's not a whole lot out here. Wait. I mean, it just is logical sense. Captive audience. Build a business or, buy a business, rent a spot out. You have people who are dying for stuff. So like, why not go there? Do you know what I mean? Think about that. I mean, even as a lender, like get out there, put your sign, or as a realtor. I mean, it makes sense for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my brother's over there, so I'm out there probably at least twice a month. What they're building out there is just unreal, and like you said, the captive audience is like there's really not a lot of businesses around West Roseville yet. There's the grocery stores, there's the chains, there's this and that, but as far as like you said, opportunity for future business, it really is going to be there. We just keep thinking like the soccer complex that they're building right now is massive, and how much business that's going to bring in over there each weekend, because again, soccer's huge up here. It's like the amount of people that soccer complex is going to be able to serve is unreal every weekend, and then therefore those surrounding businesses right there, they're locked in.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the funniest thing in the world for me. Sometimes, like, here's the thing, guys, and this is something just to take into account. Like over this last year, probably a little bit towards last year as well, the year before too. The economy hasn't been fantastic, right? As far as realistic numbers, the economy hasn't been great or anything too. But have you guys noticed how Sacramento's kind of kept chugging along? I mean, we kept chugging along. I mean, yes, some things went on hold, like the X Games are going to be happening next year instead of this year. And yeah, Elk Grove like tripped over itself like it always does, and they didn't get the zoo. But it wasn't one of those things where it's like, oh, we gotta cut the spending and everything too. I mean, Sacramento's kind of kept on going. If you've seen just all this stuff, I mean, there's more businesses coming in than leaving. I mean, there's more like things being built, like the new stadium and everything too. I mean, if you see Sacramento as far as from an economy standpoint, you wouldn't really think that it was in this bad of a shape of economy in nationwide. You know what I mean? You wouldn't think it. I mean, like even in real estate, yeah, it's been a little slower, but I actually think last year was just crazy, and this year's a little bit more just normal. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think. I think if people are thinking Sacramento's going down, I just don't see it. I think there's other markets that are going to be hit really crazy. I think Sacramento is still pretty solid. What do you think?
I was just going to say, I agree with that entirely. Last year was definitely more of a zombie market. This year's been stable. It's been consistent across the board.
Yeah. And here's the thing too. A lot of people are like, hey, the market's slow, the market's slowed. But you guys got to realize too, because of the years that were really good in real estate, we had an influx of realtors, lenders, all those type of professionals coming into the market. So what ended up happening is when we normalized the market and it just became a year of kind of like just normal transactions, it's just what it is. A lot of realtors that were so spoiled by a lot of this stuff going so easy and everything too, and all this abundance of business, had to kind of hustle. And so you're just seeing more of a normalized market this year. I do think though, next year, next spring, I have high hopes for it, but I good market, slow market, fast market. I still think Sacramento is a juggernaut right now. And I know, I get some people who are like, oh, you know what, this and that and the other thing. Like, look at all these projects that are happening in the Sacramento area. I mean, look at all the building we're doing. Look at all these new homes. I mean, a lot of people are like, yeah, these new homes, they're building too many new homes. I mean, if you look at a lot of these builders and you drive over there, sure, they have some standing inventory, but not to the level that you would, not to the level of a hurting market. It's to the level of, yeah, it's a little slower. Maybe the builders got a little greedy and overbuilt, but I think we're still in great shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. It's just incomes, right? Once incomes catch back up, I think we'll be fine. But right now, it's like we're still recovering from these, inflationary years. if they can keep inflation under control and our incomes keep growing over the next several years, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot more development, a lot more people moving in. But that's the big thing right now is incomes. Incomes have not been able to keep up with inflation. Now, inflation seems to be leveling off. And if
Yeah.
that's the case, like you're right, more people are going to come, more development's going to happen. If they can decrease rates at a faster speed right now, right, that also decreases rates across the board, corporate debt, government debt, right? And so that's kind of what we're waiting to see is can incomes keep up with the level of inflation we had over the last 5 years?
But I mean, for you, you're looking, Sacramento, I look at it and I'm just like, if there's something, if there's like an Achilles in Sacramento other than public transportation, which we need to get in infrastructure, with all these stuffs, everyone's complaining about the 50 like me and all that stuff too, and Hazel and all this stuff too. It's because we're bursting at the seams. Do you know what I mean? Like we're bursting at the seams. I mean, if there was no one living here in Sacramento and the streets were empty and everyone is like not buying houses, I mean, traffic would be a whole lot lighter. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
stores wouldn't be as packed as they were. I mean, you go to Nordstrom's, you go to Galleria, it's a zoo over there too. I tell you something. It's just, I don't know. I mean, it's the crazy part too, is if you go to any of the Costco's here in Sacramento, it would really make you wonder if our economy was in bad shape.
I was just going to say that we went to the mall last week and packed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's nuts, huh?
I should be more specific. The Galleria. We went to the Galleria last weekend, and it was absolutely packed.
Yeah. I mean, if you're someone in the Bay and you're like, you sell your $2 million condo, you come to Sac, maybe you buy a house in Roseville for maybe like $750, $850, and then you got some money left over. You buy a couple rental properties or whatnot. I just think also you get here and you're like, okay, this is pretty. I mean, I'm living a good life right now too, and I got some more money that I can spend on certain things. And I think a lot of people kind of get into that situation, which is good. I think so because, like I said, you're a Bay Area guy. I'm a Bay Area guy. I mean, in the Bay Area, I always felt like I was going paycheck to paycheck, and I was always it was a struggle, the treadmill, the stress, and everything too. I think Sacramento gives you that ability to kind of save a little bit of money, to kind of relax a little bit, and to kind of like assess what you kind of want to do. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, I kind of like it. I also think this, and this is what I'm going to say also. 7 years ago, Sacramento, I'd say majority of people would have agreed that Sacramento is pretty affordable, right? I'd say right now, you can't really put affordable with Sacramento, but I do think that in 4 to 5 years, I don't know if affordability is going to even be associated with Sacramento at all. I mean,
That's fair. Yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, it's fair. I mean, you've seen the price points. I mean, you're seeing the price points inch higher and higher. I know, again, this year's been a little weird. Last year's been a little weird. But again, I think rates stabilize. We get them closer to 6, maybe high 5s. Yeah. I mean, what's the average? I mean, if you look at the micro markets, what's the average price point in Fair Oaks?
I'd say probably like Fair Oaks is an interesting one because I think Fair Oaks and Carmichael, Orangevale were kind of like neck and neck for a while, but then Fair Oaks just kind of took off a little further than most. I'd say to get maybe a 3 and 2 in Fair Oaks, about $550 maybe if you're lucky. Fixer, of course, you can get less than that, but I'd say like if you're looking for something that was at, but like I said, I mean, I'd say the markets you could probably still get something under 5. What do you think? Maybe Natomas, maybe like your Citruses, maybe some parts of Rancho as well too. What do you think?
Yeah. Rosemont maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rosemont, College Glen, good spots as well too.
Yeah.
Also, they become your first rental property if you decide you want to move up. But at the same time, I mean, I don't even know if it's move up. I've got some friends who just love that area.
It's great. I mean, yeah, it's a great area.
Oh yeah, and we got Wendy tonight. Wendy, thank you, Mark, Robin, and Nikki. Wendy, we appreciate you. And like I said, I'll be getting those measurements for you, hopefully, and getting them to you today as well too. So I'm excited for you. All right. Any new builds coming into Loomis? There's nothing coming to Loomis. Ah, thumbs down. I'm sorry about that, guys. All right. Any new builds coming to Loomis? Right now, the only new builds I can tell you about Loomis that came in were Black Pines. Black Pines had a community in Loomis. Now, if you're really hot for Loomis, I don't see any new communities being built out there. I think what you're going to see in Loomis is you're probably going to see some people building like with a little bit more land out in Loomis. There's a lot of custom home building right now. I would say though, if you want something that is kind of newer, I know that a couple of those Black Pines are on the resale market as well too. I would scope out the Black Pines community and kind of see maybe you can get something resale, maybe you can get the backyard already kind of landscaped as well too. But that was the last community really building in Loomis. It'll be interesting to see if anyone else builds there. But what I've been hearing is that, what's called, I think where they're going to build Rancho Marietta could become the next hot spot as well too. But Loomis, I haven't heard anything. Have you heard any new home builders coming to Loomis?
Nope.
All right, guys, if you got your questions, bring them. And hopefully you guys are enjoying this live broadcast. It's a broadcast I do every single week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's to give you a little bit of a temperature gauge about the market that we have here in Sacramento. Like I said, like I do videos, I drop them at Friday at 7 p.m. as well too. But I think this show that I do every Wednesday is to give you that accurate assessment on how interest rates are doing, inventory levels and everything regarding Sacramento. If you hear about anything in videos, news and everything too, bring them here and we'll talk a little bit about them. Matt and I are two guys who are basically always out in the field. We're talking real estate in Sacramento, in the Sacramento area. Matt does California. I just do the Sacramento area. And that's kind of what we do. So for you guys, anything you need, like just bring it here and let me know. The reason why I started this show a while ago is because I felt like some of the videos out there are good, but they just don't seem like they're real-time data. Like, hey, get something in the pocket Greenhaven for $300,000. And you're like, hey, when was this? Oh man, this was like 12 years ago. So this is when you can get accurate information about stuff. So tune in on Wednesdays at 7 for it. All right. Here's some stories about insurance being pulled out of Folsom. What's going on? I'll talk to Javier, but I've heard Folsom is a little bit easier than EDH. What do you know, Matt?
Yeah, I know a lot of carriers are merging right now. So I know this is what I do know. Liberty Mutual is merging with Safeco, I believe. So renewals are going to be under Safeco and that they're doing inspections. So we recently had our roof and electrical box inspected for renewal. That's all I really can say. I haven't heard of people losing insurance at a Folsom, but I do know that if you are not submitting electrical panel and roof photos for your insurance provider, they will come do an inspection on your property.
All right. Folsom for me, I mean, of course, like areas, I think maybe like, on the hill, maybe like Briggs Ranch, kind of by Folsom Lake and everything too, might be a little bit, but I think for the most part, Folsom seems to be pretty solid. EDH, I've heard stuff about Shingle Springs, Cameron Park, like, Loomis, Grant Bayish and everything too. Folsom's always been kind of solid. But again, like here's the thing, before you pull the trigger on a house, before you even go look at it and start drooling at a house, I would say talk to someone about insurance and don't do one of those things where your realtor talks to the other realtor and then the other realtor basically tells you, oh, you know what, this is what they're paying for their policy. They could be grandfathered into it. Get someone who's like giving you a legitimately, you close, this is what we can get you. And if they're really tight with you as well too, like Javier is with me a lot of times, he'll say like, yeah, it's this, but beware that area. So that's the stuff you kind of want to know. You know what I mean? What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I agree. Before you make your offer, get that insurance quote in writing.
All right. I've seen less and less incentives in new homes in Elk Grove, 7.6 ARM, and less closing costs. Is it because EG is in higher demand? Elk Grove did something really interesting that I saw. A lot of the builders started kind of downshifting to the amount of houses they were building in Elk Grove. Rancho, they seem to be going crazy. West Roseville, they seem to still be building. But Elk Grove, they seem to be somewhat slowing down. I think Elk Grove, the 757, normally that's the hottest kind of like market or one of the hottest markets in the Sacramento area. They've always been very, very like in demand. But what I've been seeing, like, for example, Madera Green, my buddy Lorenzo over there too, I think they're being smart about their builds. I think they have a few quick move-ins, but I also think that right now, the market in Elk Grove right now, it's like Tim Lewis, very kind of like, the luxury. They're not really doing too many things. KB right now owns the kind of more like economical friendly kind of market, So they're like, hey, look, we're the value add right here. We're like, if you want something underneath like $700,000, come to us. There's no one competing with KB in that market. And then you got Taylor, who's kind of running towards the end of their build at Madera Greens. Arbor, New Home Company has always been very, very kind of like where you're going to see the deals at New Homes. New Home Company is probably going to be towards maybe like December, end of November and January. And like I said, they usually compete with Taylor. Now the Taylor slowed down. If you're looking for like a big home, the New Home Company is kind of going to be what you're going to go to, Arbor. So it's a tough one right now too. What do you think of Elk Grove as far as that goes?
I haven't seen too much. I mean, I heard a lot of builders are pulling back on incentives right now anyways. It just depends on their inventory and like how desperate they are to get rid of it. I do know that they're going, if there's resale homes in the same area that there's new construction, they will undercut their homes to make sure that they sell before the resale home. So I heard that tactic today. So it just depends. I'm not entirely sure what's going on in Elk Grove.
Here's a funny thing about Elk Grove too. The resale stuff is that areas like Folsom, areas like Roseville, people are really, they love the resale stuff, resale, because it's a different vibe than the new stuff, right? It's completely different. What I see in Elk Grove is because a lot of the resale stuff is kind of like, like a Sawyer from like 10 years ago. Like a lot of it is still kind of tracky kind of homes. So a lot of people are like, I mean, you hear from a lot of realtors in Elk Grove that the resale stuff really isn't that attractive to people as well, too. So you have I think Elk Grove, as far as new homes and resale, I think new homes is so much, the buyer in Elk Grove prefers new homes to resale. Probably like eight out of 10 people who are looking in Elk Grove are going to be looking new homes. And that's kind of what you're looking at. And so Elk Grove is that market. Whereas Folsom, I'd say maybe like 50-50 at this point. But Elk Grove is like, you know what I mean? Like Elk Grove is like that area where people are like, I want new. That's what I want. And there's like, not even like, I want to look at resale. They're like, I want a brand new home. It's one of those areas too for us, because normally we're the team who's basically going like, guys, we're going to show you resale. We're going to show you new. Even though you're here for new, we want to show you some resale just to show you everything. So you're educated about everything too. Elk Grove, it's more like, we don't want to see resale stuff at all. We just want to see the new homes. That's what we want. And that's it. I mean, have you experienced that?
But that's not new either. I feel like that's been the story for years. I'm talking like 10 years. Because I have friends who moved to Elk Grove, I want to say 8 years ago, and it was new construction from day one. Right? Like resale wasn't even on the radar. So I feel like that's been the story there for a long time. It's nothing new.
Okay. That's fair. I mean, I will say though, like you were saying, like, we're talking about like, I think it's because that the Bay Area buyer tends to really focus in on Elk Grove because of the distance towards the Bay Area. And so I think the Bay Area buyer also, a lot of the people coming from the Bay, a lot of people, especially if they're looking at Elk Grove, they want new. Maybe someone bought their new and everything too. They tend to be a little bit more like also like really knowledgeable about the builders, the communities and all the areas going on there. And it's the funniest part is like normally the people that we move into Elk Grove, especially the ones looking at new homes, it's usually like their friend lives down the street or they have like, a brother who moved in or their mom or they have some attachment to Elk Grove. But like I said, like Elk Grove is that spot. New homes are always, it seems like always preferred. Now, I will say the caveat on that one is if you're looking for like the Sheldon, like the $1 million acreage homes in Elk Grove, I think you probably got to go like to the 624. But for the most part, yeah, Elk Grove is crazy. So it doesn't really surprise me that new homes are doing what they're doing there. I mean, got to give a clap to Taylor for slowing down a little bit on this build. They're doing the same thing in Folsom. I mean, it seems like Taylor and Toll Brothers tend to be like right now in this market are being very, very tactical. They're being very, very smart. They're slowing their builds, right? Probably annoying the salespeople because that's how they make their money, but they're slowing their build, right? Whereas companies like KHOV, it's like full steam ahead. TriPoint, full steam ahead. Woodside, full steam ahead. And they're just going. Taylor, I think, learned their, and Toll probably learned their kind of like idea. They learned this stuff from like, 3 years ago, but it's interesting as we shift into this market. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, you got to be smart about this too. Cause I mean, we're moving into the cold months. I also have got to say, I don't think any new home builder should be pulling incentives at this point. I don't think they should be. I mean, at this point, I would say that the buyer right now is saying to themselves, we're going to wait till the end of this year. And if we see the deals and if we see a house, we're good. But if we don't see those deals, if we don't see that stuff happening, we're not going to buy. I don't think there's that push, that like you need to buy now or else you will seriously regret it type push. I think, it's like, I think right now buyers are like, let's see what deals pop on the market. And, if there's a deal and it makes sense, I'll go for it. But if not, I'm going to sit it out. I think if new homes are not, a lot of these builders who are building like crazy are not going to give great incentives. I think it's going to be a really, really cold year for some of the new home builders, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we got another question. Great show as always, guys. What is your favorite plus 55 area in the greater Sacramento area for under $500,000? Thanks in advance. What do you think, Matt?
The only thing I found so far is like east of Elk Grove, at only because of the 500,000 price point.
All right.
Point Village.
I got my. Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you for the active community for under $500,000. I'm going to tell you my pick of the day. It's going to be Kehov's new one in Rancho. You can get yourself a brand new house. I've seen the drawings of the pool. It's going to be gated. Toll Brothers, you're still like getting the smallest house for like in the low 500s. Turkey Creek, you're around there as well too, maybe mid 500s actually. So for me, I mean, if you're looking for like you want to get in on the ground floor of a brand new active community, like the Kehov one is great. I would say though, if you're talking about area for like multiple active communities, I would say you might be able to get something in the resale market, maybe in Lincoln, I guess. Maybe it's still a tough price point,
Yeah, it's a competitive price point. Are you talking about the one in Anatolia Village, Rancho?
Yeah, the new one, the K-Hub. Look at this, Brad, we're gonna be checking that out with Brad. $449, active community, brand new pool, brand new clubhouse. I mean, I think this active community, nothing against K-Hub or anything too, is like their marketing is so bad. But I'm going to be doing some videos of their active communities because I think that, and after we get Brad into his house, of course, but, I think $449 for that price point to get a nice home in an area, like in a brand new active community. I think that community is really, really nice. I saw the designs of it and I'm like, this is really cool. Pool, clubhouse, the whole 9 yards. So I think that if you're looking for the deal for an active community and you don't want to go too far off and you want to be in the Sacramento area, yada, yada, Kehov easily. I would say if you want multiple active communities in the resale market, Lincoln, maybe Sun City, but it's still under 500 is still a tough price point if you do that. Don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. There's not a lot out there. These Kehov homes are cool because also the spread on them on the high end is 800. So it feels like there's room for appreciation.
Ooh, I like that. All right, Brad says Folsom, nicer and bigger. Folsom Ranch. Hey, look, if we're gonna be looking at all of them, guys, I'm gonna do a Pepsi challenge on some of these for you and bring you some ideas as well too. But like for me, honestly, I like the Toll Brothers, like I said, for the nice feel, like Brad mentioned. But to get in on the ground floor, Kehov. And like, I don't know. Like I said, we'll bring pricing here for you guys and we'll do some videos of these active communities. And it's a big market. And we haven't even talked about Shea Homes as creating an active community up at Bickford. But the price tag on that one, you can't get in there probably under $7. So, but Shea Homes is pretty nice as well too. All right. Ben says, are you talking 0.25 or 0.5 Fed rate cut next week? What do you think, Matt?
I think we're going to see 0.25.
All right. I'm going to take 0.5. We'll bet a Coke. I know you'll be right. So I owe you one. All right. Any other decent neighborhoods near Elk Grove that we could go in under 550? I would probably say Vineyard. What do you think?
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Elk Grove schools and everything too. Now, if you just want the Elk Grove school district and everything too, the Anatolia area of Rancho is actually in the Elk Grove Unified School District as well too. The only thing is that there is a nice elementary in the Anatolia area, which is looks like you can walk to school. But when you get to middle and high school, you got to bus it in, and it's about maybe 25 minutes. So that's the only thing just to be aware of. But I will tell you though, like the Vineyard area is going to develop. It's going to grow. You got Wild Hawk out there. I think it's north by Taylor where you can get something probably in the low fives. And it's a rare thing to be in that area. And I think that area is definitely up and coming. Are you ready to jump into some Q&A? And you guys bring your questions. We're here for that. So whatever you guys want.
Bernardo, I would challenge you to, Bernardo, I would challenge you to look at homes at 600 that have been sitting for longer than 30 days and see if you can work out a price reduction or a credit to bring your rate down. And that way the payment feels like 550, but you might be in a home that people passed up because it was 600. So just food for thought.
Okay. Before let's go to the Q&A, let's talk a little bit about this. Okay. So we're jumping into the market. And like I said, guys, the Fed rate cut, mortgage rate is completely different. After the announcement is made, you probably will see a little bit of it's going to be interesting to see the temperature after that announcement, whether people are going to just jump off the fence on the other side and just keep going and go to Home Goods and meet me over there and shop for some holiday stuff, or they're going to jump in the market and say, hey, look, let's do this. Let's see what's out there. But I will tell you this, for myself, I think that this is the time of the year where everyone, outside the rates and everything too, they're seeing the fact that inventory kind of piling up. Yes, some inventory is being pulled off, and those are the 2.75ers who didn't even want to sell their house in the first place. But now we got inventory that's actually on the market and has been sitting there, and all of a sudden we're seeing like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. Like, what are your suggestions to some people? How low should you go? Like, what have you been seeing as far as like going low?
In what regard? In far as what? How far under the purchase price?
Let's say you got a house in Folsom, and let's say it's listed for, I don't know, randomly, let's go 1.35. It's been there for 90 days. The sellers, let's say, are, I don't know, let's say that they moved out and need to sell the home. Like, what is a good strategy you'd put in place?
Off the top of my head, I'm looking for like a 10 to 20% price reduction.
Okay.
Just off the top of my head, just to justify market conditions if prices pull back. But I mean, 20% is so extreme. To see prices pull back 20%, that's like quote unquote a market correction. So I'd be happy with a 10% price reduction, and I would probably try to squeeze concessions out of it to buy my rate down at 2 points and do a temporary buy down or a permanent rate buy down. I would look at adjustable rate mortgages. Here's something interesting, right? What I've been finding is, let's just make it super simple. On a 30-year fixed, to buy the rate down 1% saves you a quarter off the rate. So if the average interest rate right now is, let's call it 6.25, you get a 1% credit from the seller. You apply that to your interest rate. You're getting a rate from 6.25. Now you're going to lock it in at 6% for the life of the loan. If you compare that to an adjustable rate mortgage, specifically the 7-year adjustable rate mortgage, instead of 0.25%, you're typically shaving off 0.75 to 1% of that rate.
Okay.
Right. And so you can actually get a bigger bang for your buck on an adjustable rate. The rate's there, like if you hear a 7-year adjustable, it means the rate is set for the first 7 years, then it adjusts. Right. I like that because most people move or get a new loan within 7 years.
Interesting.
So, those are the strategies I would go with. You'd be pretty surprised with how much a rate buy down can make that monthly payment feel like a higher price point or a lower price point than what you're actually buying it for.
Okay. So for me, here's kind of like the chess moves, I guess you could say. Like I look at this, okay, like let's say you got a house sitting there for 135 and it's been there for 90 days. I think one thing is like for your listing agent, if your listing agent is aggressive, I would say instead of like, let's say like Matt comes in with an offer, what offer would you make on this one?
Just under 1.2.
All right, just under 1.2. Boom. All right, just under 1.2. Here would be me. I would drop. I would do a drop of 1.2999, and I would see if I had any other bites. You know, I would do aggressive weekly drops until I bridge that gap. Do you know what I mean? For me, that's how I would go about this. Like I would say that, okay, I got a house 1.35, clearly it's listed high because it's not moving, right? So my idea would be like, okay, I'm not going 1.35 because clearly it's not working. People love numbers. I'd probably drop it down to 1.299, run some aggressive open houses, of course, do videos like we always do. And then I think if you had submitted the one, just let's say 1.2, and you saw that I dropped it down to 1.299, would you stick at 1.2 or would you say, uh-oh, it could get some bites, and would you up your price point a little bit in this market?
No, I wouldn't wait. I would just make an offer at. I would see that there's price reductions, which means there's motivation, and I would make my offer. Still, I'd keep my offer at 1.2, and I would just make my offer there and see if we can bridge the gap. And I only say that because that's actually what happened to me when we bought this current home. I was paying attention to the market. The seller was an investor, and they were doing $10,000 price reductions. So by the third one, I was like, what's going on here? Like it caught my attention because every time, in the MLS system, when you're set up on a search, you get a new email every time there's a new price change.
Yep.
Right. So the third one, and again, in 2021, there were no price reductions happening.
Yeah.
And so when you see that hit your email again, and you're like, wait, what's going on here? And I actually was like, we got to go see this. Like, there's no price reductions in this market. This home's been dropped $10,000 each week. It's been listed. And it did. It caught my attention. Checked it out. Rough around the edges, but was exactly what we were looking for. Right. So I do like what your strategy is, definitely as far as a listing perspective goes, because it definitely captures attention. And if you're already on the fence, you can find a way to bridge the gap.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Like, I mean, I think right now also having a right agent, right kind of formula, right kind of strategy for all this stuff is going to make a big, big difference, whether you're on the selling side or whether you're in the buying side. I think listing agents now and again get a little nervous about the idea of saying reductions or strategies or let's do this or let's do a price drop. I mean, I'd much rather talk to a listing and just say, hey, look, let's drop it by like, I don't know, like 50 grand as opposed to going to contract for like $150,000 less. I mean, that would be a scarier conversation. Hey, Matt, guess what? We got an offer $150,000 off what you need or what you want to get for your house, as opposed to saying, hey, let's drop it 50. Let's see where it goes. But I do think, here's the thing. I do think the drop probably should have happened before even an offer was made, because I don't think anyone's going to go 1.35. I think they see it. There's no offers and they're looking at the 1.35 and they're saying to themselves, there's no way I'm doing that. And I think at that point in time, they might be even thinking of something with a 2. So you dropping to 1.299 probably kind of makes a little sense. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think, like I said, guys out there, know who you're working with, know with your realtor or your lender and everything too. You just need people who are aggressive as far as this stuff goes. But at the same time, listing agents, you got to just kind of not let it just sit there. I mean, that's the worst when you see something just sitting there, and we're talking like months after months. We have one in Antelope that's still sitting, but it's been on, for a few weeks and everything too. But at the same time for us now is like when we go to plan B of the strategy. So I don't know. It's an interesting market either way. All right. There are many plus 55 communities in West Roseville. Placer Vineyards is a good one. I think what you're going to see in West Roseville too is you're going to see a lot more active communities. I think active is a big market. I think Roseville has Sun City. I think West Roseville is going to have a lot. You got Heritage over there, I think by Lennar as well too. I think you're going to, Placer Vineyards, Placer One, you got Bickford, Shea Homes over there too. I think active is going to be really, really heavy, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, it also makes sense from a builder's perspective if you look at just the demographics, right? Like, who's holding on to most of the equity, right? It's baby
Oh yeah.
boomers. So, from a builder's perspective, it actually makes more sense to start building more 55 and over communities.
I think, well, okay, I think also, here's the thing. One of the things that you guys are probably noticing about the market is you're seeing people who've been in their house for like ever. I mean, I live in Gold River and people were like the original owners here in Gold River. It's just for them, they just really don't know where to go to, where to downsize to. Like, where does it make sense? They don't want to leave their community because they know everybody in their community. They want to go somewhere and they don't want to go really to a retirement home. So I think these active communities are like really going to help us out as far as maybe having people who want to downsize, who want to go to somewhere that's a little bit more fun. You know what I mean? Like they can get their single story floor plan and everything too. And with a rate, you know, that's not a bad thing at all, at all. Our Brad says VA 30 year about 5.5 now. Yeah, that ain't bad at all. All right, here we go. We got, okay, wow, real estate in a Folsom house sits for about 70 days. Start to ask for a 5% concession. LA says no immediately. They're really convinced that this rate cut will attract a flood of buyers. Okay, now that's interesting. Do you think that the rate, just even the news of the rate cut, will attract more buyers?
Yeah, but I think they'll be surprised with, like, again, it puts a lot of confidence in the market. But as far as, like, again, we went from 5.5 to 5.25, not a huge jump as far as your monthly payment goes, unless you're getting seller credits to help you buy down that rate, right? So yeah, it does put a lot of confidence in the market. People start asking, they start shopping, they start going to open houses again. So you might be competing with someone who was just on the fence a week ago and now they want to jump in with optimism and hope. But I don't think that monthly payment's going to be a huge swing yet to like flood the market.
What do you think of this though? Okay, so let's say, for example, you're expecting the rates to go down, you're expecting this cut and everything too. So you're saying, hey, look, I want to see what's out there, right? So you got the Zillow app and you're scrolling. Rates don't do anything. Rates basically stay what they're at, maybe even go up a little bit. But you've already found a few houses that you really, really like. And you're looking at them and there's a couple price cuts and you're going like, this could be interesting. You're kind of gradually feeling out the market a little bit, you know, instead of going for the rates are going down. So I'm going to have a better rate and I'm just going to jump into a home and I'm good to go. All of a sudden your strategy switches from that, you know, maybe subconsciously to like, okay, look, I'm seeing some price cuts. You know, maybe the rate ain't doing it, but maybe I go low, maybe I jump in and maybe I buy a house and maybe refinance later. But you're already searching on that app. You've already kind of like started the process of saying, you know what, that's maybe what we're going to do. You've started that mental kind of cleanup of the house, put stuff in the garage. I wonder how much I can get for my house and everything too. But you're already kind of in the swing of things as far as buying. I mean, like, let's face it, with Amazon and everything, we are shoppers. That's kind of what we are. I mean, how many times have you started scrolling for something and all of a sudden you have it, and then at the end of the day, you wonder if you're really going to need it, you know, like, and I mean, it's sad to say, I mean, nowadays with cars, you can buy a car online. It shows up in your driveway like the next day. Houses, not too far off for a lot of people with all the new home stuff and everything going on. So I think maybe once you jump into that market, you know, you're maybe already kind of thinking to yourself, hey, you might be buying. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, right, let's say once you start thinking of red cars, you see red cars. So once you start seeing yourself in Zillow living in that house, like, yeah, it's easy to get carried away. But kind of like I said earlier, the rate cut will bring the people on the fence shopping again. I just don't think it's going to drive prices up.
Okay. For me, I think you're right. I think, like I said, like, and I said this for the beginning, like rates go up, rates go down. I still think sellers are on the ropes a little bit in this market. You know, I think make sure your listing agent's aggressive and just, you know, you just gotta understand that You got to get a little realism in the market. And if you're not getting that, like, I don't know, look around for someone who can give you that, because you just need a reality check to see exactly what that's going to look like. And then maybe, of course, always like look at the rental options, maybe put it back on spring and everything too. But at the same time, like there is a little bit of reality to like what you could sell realistically what you could sell your house for. All right. Brad says new 55 communities will free up a lot of single family homes for the next generations. Hopefully will help everyone. I agree. I think that's one of the things about
Good
our
point.
situation. I think we need that big time here in Sacramento. All right, let's get into some Q&As. Boom. All right. Do people commute from Sacramento to the Bay Area for work? Yep. And no matter what the conversation is, they always feel they need to inform you within 10 seconds of talking to them. I love that. I feel terrible for those who have to deal with the 50 on that commute. It's brutal anywhere near commute hours. Yeah. 50 though, 50, if you guys haven't seen the video, 50 will be done next year in summer, around summer, which would be good. But I would say I'd say maybe one out of maybe like, I don't know, maybe 30, 25 people probably does a commute to the city, to the Bay Area. What do you think?
Oh yeah, our I can tell you like our El Dorado Hills, our sphere. Most people work in the Bay, and they got to be there anywhere from 1 day a week to 3 days a week.
The Bay is still, I mean, guys, also, if you guys don't know this, and you probably do, hopefully you guys have been watching the broadcast a lot, is the fact that we are kind of like a nice value add to the Bay Area. A lot of people from the Bay Area come here. I mean, during COVID, they got really the rug pulled underneath them because they were told that they could work from home. So they moved to Sacramento, and then their work told them they have to come back to work. So we do still get a lot of people from the Bay Area coming into Sacramento, not as much as we did during the COVID times, but still we get a lot of people moving here. And if you guys are thinking about moving in, hit Matt. He's an amazing lender. Like I said, we've done deals together. I would definitely recommend him. And if you guys want a little bit more information, you know where to reach me as always. Okay. I'm a 36-year-old, and this is why I bought a house in West Roseville, because I see myself retiring and growing old there. I think West Roseville is going to be that spot that you're going to be one of those people that says, like, I remember when there was nothing here. I remember, I think West Roseville, you're going to have a surf park out there and everything too. I think I've already seen parts of like the West Park area that they don't even consider themselves West Roseville. They're like, no, we've been here for a while. So I think you bought in a good spot. I think JMC is a fantastic builder. And so, I think you're in a good spot. Do you think inventory is recovered enough to support lower interest rates? Ooh, what do you think, Matt?
No. It's nice. It's definitely been a nice bonus to have this much inventory, but not enough to support lower interest rates.
I'm not happy that much with the inventory that we've been seeing. I see a lot of stuff that was like, I think overpriced, some stuff being pulled, some stuff sitting,
a lot of fixers. I'm seeing a lot of fixers.
Oh my, so many fixers. It's like people just throwing stuff on the market and then they're putting a little bit of a higher price tag on that stuff too. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm seeing a lot of fixers and everything too. I think, if we drop down the rates, it'll be interesting because you could see sellers get a little bit more of a push to throw their houses on the market. But again, I always go back to this like end game of like the 2.75 homeowner, and they're like, no, I'm not, I'm good. Like for you, I mean, you're sitting in your house, you got an awesome interest rate and you're like, I'm good. Too chaotic. It's good. I'm fine. And you got a lot of people here, especially in the Sacramento area. A lot of people don't realize too in Sacramento is like in COVID, like people didn't just make they didn't make the step up buy. They passed the step up buy and went to the forever home buy. A lot of people did that during COVID. A lot of people cashed in on their houses, made the, $200,000 over like a week almost felt like, and then they cashed in and they bought their forever home. So a lot of people are sitting in their forever homes on 2.75s. And that's going to be one of the biggest blocks that we're going to have to jump over in probably the nation, but in Sacramento, definitely. Don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're seeing more people convert their homes to rentals than selling, that's like their first thing. Will my house cash flow? If yes, I'm keeping it. Like that is 90% of the conversations I'm getting right now. It's either buy before you sell. How can I tap into the equity and then buy something? Or how do I convert this to a rental and buy something? Those are the two conversations I'm having every day.
Well, okay, that's a good point. I mean, like the idea also is like, let's say you want to put in a pool, tap into equity. Let's say you want to build another, you need another bedroom, tap into your equity, and just, I mean, it's kind of a better plan at this point, don't you think?
Well, yeah, yeah, for sure it is. I mean, just from, I mean, you could, for several reasons, but I mean, one that comes to mind is property taxes, right? The home that has the bigger room, that has the pool, like you have to buy it at a higher price point, therefore you're going to have higher property taxes.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, for me, like I said, maybe sometimes you might be, you don't have the land to build stuff and everything too. But for me, and I'm sure for you as well too, a lot of people here in Sacramento, we did pull some money out of the house and we did renovations to our houses that we live in. I mean, like I said, for me, like backyard landscaping, redid the living room and everything too. It's just way more attractive than having to like buy a new house. You know what I mean? Or like
Oh
get into
yeah,
the market and everything too. I mean, just chill with your rate and everything too. And, like I said, a lot of people made their forever house move and everything too. And something that a lot of people don't realize too in Sacramento or in other areas coming into Sacramento is you also, because Sacramento is so community friendly and people like really know each other and you don't really want to leave your community. Like for me, I know everyone on my street. I know everyone on my block. I feel safe. I feel good. And like, I don't want to leave them. I have that vibe with my community that I really feel like
yeah,
attached to them. So, and I think that,
yeah,
people from the Bay may not have the same kind of thing. But when you come to Sacramento, you're going to see wherever you move, you're going to kind of know a lot of people wherever you live. You know what I mean?
yeah.
All right. So we got the 50 project that I said you guys it's going to be done next year. Government still seems to exist, not to improve people's lives, but to figure out new ways to tax people at their convenience. What do you think of the 50 project? Pain could have been done better.
It's a pain. I was just on it today 4 times.
Ouch.
um, it's slow, but it moves. In the Bay, it didn't move. Like traffic doesn't move. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel still pretty. Again, my bias is a little bit different, but um, yeah, it's always busy during commute hours. But at least it moves. I mean, I've yet to be in it in a long time where it's been completely a standstill. You know, so I mean, yeah, it's not great, but I've been in way worse.
Yeah. I mean, coming from LA, coming from the Bay, this is probably not going to be that bad. But for me, I've think to myself, all the new homes are building here in the Sacramento area. Infrastructure, my friends, infrastructure, we need better. Okay. So we got this from Lacey. Lacey is one of my favorite new home people. She works at Beezer in Vacaville. They're doing it up. They're going to be doing it September 20th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're going to have music. They're going to have food. They're going to have all live music, crafts for the kids and everything too. So if you guys are going to, and you guys want a new home and you're thinking maybe Vacaville could be that spot, say hello to Lacey. She's awesome. One of my favorite salespeople too. So Beezer's throwing it up. It's the 20th from 11 till 2, guys. And tell Lacey I sent you. Not for anything, just she'll know that the YouTube channel works. All right. And then we got a good friend of mine. He's been, I've talked to him a million times and they sent me so many. They just moved to the area and he actually started a gutter cleaning business. Really amazing guy, salt of the earth, really sweetheart. Give him a call if you guys are looking for gutter cleaning and everything too. He's an amazing guy and I would just definitely recommend him. Integrity, good person, everything too. And the stuff that I'm throwing out to you guys here, it's not anything anyone paid me to do. It's because I like kind of doing stuff for people who I really like. And he's new to the area. He started his own business, so I'm excited for him. So that is that one. Got anything to plug while we're here, Matt?
What I was going to talk about was super interesting, and we're getting a lot of requests on it, are actually refinances for HELOCs, which I
Okay.
thought was interesting because the Fed rates are coming down. A lot of people got HELOCs in 2022, and so they're refinancing them this year to either lower the rate, extend the line amount, extend the term. So what's interesting is we just now are starting to see a lot of refinances come in with people who have over 7% interest who bought in kind of peak of rates, but also we're seeing a lot of people refinance their HELOC and save on that interest too. So again, not something I typically see other than this year, to be honest. So with the Fed rate cut, that will affect HELOCs if they're on in a very adjustable mortgage. So something to keep in mind.
All right, guys, here's the thing. If you did get an interest rate of over 7 and you are thinking about refinancing, I would definitely recommend. Matt is amazing. He is awesome. There's a link below to connect with him and just talk to him a little bit about what he's got. Like I said, I only bring on quality people on the show, and Matt is an amazing resource in the Sacramento area. So if you guys are thinking refinance, finance, or whatnot, I would definitely say get on a call with Matt. Really good guy, not a selly guy. He will tell you exactly how it is. Even if at times it means that you're not going to even like refinance, he'll tell you the legit stuff. And I love that. So Matt, shameless plug, but link in the description for Matt if you want to do a call with him as well too. Okay. So
Appreciate
new luxury
it.
homes and yeah, no problem. Good people doing good business. I love that. Okay. I remember my parents bought a house. Okay. Double S Ranch. This is a gorgeous community. I remember my parents did this in 2006 when the market crashed. Huge in 2008. I'd wait. So what do you think? Okay, a lot of people jump on the show and they're like, you know what? It's going to be another 2008 market. Regulation, subprime, completely different. But what would you think?
It's completely different. I mean, the amount of like underwriting that we have to do, even on like those adjustable rate mortgages, are nothing like the ones we have today. Nothing. Nothing. We still we check your ID, we check your income, your pay stubs, your bank statements. You go through an underwriting process, right? Back then, none of that would happen. It was like, sign your name, here's your money. Like you can't. And underwriters are smart. Like they know if people are trying to do something funky, and they'll call it out right away. So it's just not even close to the same.
All right. Heard it here. All right. Is now the best time to buy? If rates are trending down, inventory is fairly good now. What do you think, Matt?
I'm a traditionalist. If you can afford it and it fits your lifestyle and it fits your budget, there's no time. Like again, even now we're hearing some clients like, I'm not going to refinance till I save $1,000 a month. It's like, sir, there's no rate in which because the loan amount, right? The loan amount is so small. There's no rate which would save you $1,000 a month, right? The average savings we're seeing right now is anywhere between like 340 and I think 650. I saw one last night for 650. I'm a bird in the hand. Like you take what you get. If rates come down lower in the future, great. You take advantage again. But last September, we saw so many people miss the opportunity. Last September, rates dropped to 5.99 for 3 days. You can't time that. So just get your ducks in a row. If it's something on your, if you're interested in it, start the conversation and see if it makes sense. If it doesn't, don't do it.
All right. And what I would say, Ben, is one is if you're going new homes, I would say probably towards in Q4, you're probably going to get the best deals normally for new homes, especially in competitive areas like your Ranchos, your West Rosevilles and everything too. I would say if you're looking for resale, I would say one of the things about Sacramento is they tend to pack it up towards the end of October, November, December, just the weather, holidays and everything too. Normally those times I always get people like some smoking deals because our team is one of the only teams in Sacramento that has umbrellas. No, I'm joking, but we have our umbrellas. And we like showing in rain because, you can see what the house looks like. You can kind of pressure test it. I guess you can see if anything drips or whatnot. So I think towards the end of end of the year in general, like in an area like Sacramento that I know well, it's a great time for deals. I think, like Matt said, go low and see what you could get. I would also say though, before you decide to just jump in, I would say do your education piece of it, figure out communities, areas, cities, what's important to you, right? Like just because something's a deal doesn't mean it's a deal for you, right? I mean, oh my God, I got a deal. This is fantastic. Oh, I live in Rancho. What's a Rancho? I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, where am I? I would get educated, figure out what you want. I mean, that's the biggest piece of the puzzle, at least I see, like figuring out exactly what you want. 3-2, do you want a 2-story home? Do you want land? Do you want HOAs? Do you want what do you need to be close to? Like, what are the gotchas in certain areas? Like, what are those things? And then after you narrow down, just kind of at that point in time, then just look at the frequency that those homes are popping on the market. And then you can kind of start seeing you're like, you know what? This 3-2 popped on the market. It's kind of like the same home that popped on like a month ago, but a month ago, that house went in 3 days. This house just popped on the market and it's just been there for like 2 weeks, slowing down of the market. So if you get yourself in that point of view, like that situation, then you start kind of knowing what you want and you start kind of like seeing the ebbs and flows of the real estate market. And like I said, like Matt said, and I'm with Matt 100% on this, you could find your dream house tomorrow. You could find it in 3 or 4 months. For me, I always tell people, figure out what the dream house looks like. Now, I'm not saying dream house as in like your forever home. Your dream house could be a 1 to 3 and 2 with this interest rate and give me a yard and give me this. But kind of figure out what that house is going to look like. It'll save you a whole lot of questions, a whole lot of indecision. When all of a sudden, if rates drop and everything too, and you're like, oh, well, yeah, this house popped up. I want it, but what's Fair Oaks like? So just that would be me. All right. Ooh, here's one for you, Matt. Can I refinance with the same lender I already have my mortgage on?
Yeah, if they do refinances. Like builders don't do refis, so I don't know if you can do it with them. Your servicer will probably try to retain you, whoever's servicing your loan. But yeah, you can certainly call and try.
I'll tell you one thing, for me at least, I would never go with a new home lender for a refi. It just would
They don't
not
even
be my
offer them.
thing.
I mean, I have friends at Lennar. They literally they call me to do their own loans, right? Like they cannot put a refinance through their pipeline. As far as I know, on the bigger home lenders, like they can't do it. So like, yeah, I've done them for several banks. Lennar's one of them. Called today for a refi. So yeah.
All right.
I have a question for you.
Hit me. No, I can't refinance you.
If you were to sacrifice in regards to your home search on one thing, and I'm speaking like bedroom count, pool, acreage, style of home, location, like what's one thing you would sacrifice?
Oof, that's pretty good. I would say for me, well, okay, as a realtor, I'd say one is something that's a fixer as opposed to turnkey, which I like. I like turnkey, I'd probably go fixer just because I got a contractor that can go in there and go like 20 grand, this. Like when I bought my house, I literally threw my keys to my contractor. I said, I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Floors, paint, light fixtures, and we were done. That would be one thing, but that's kind of cheating because I know that. So let's talk about like what I would sacrifice. I would say this: I love my pool, but if I found the perfect house, everything was great, I might go hot tub. I might just do that just for that. I might settle. Like for me, one of the things that annoyed me about this Gold River house, like I said, I love my Gold River house; it's great, yada yada. But it was an 8 out of 10. It wasn't my 10 out of 10. The Gold River house I have has my primary bedroom upstairs with a loft, and it has a remainder of the bedrooms on the first floor. So my daughter sleeps in the primary bedroom. I sleep in one of the bedrooms because we just didn't feel comfortable having her on the first floor. You know what I mean? So I would say probably the floor plan a little bit. That would probably be just me. I'd say, like I said, if it was a dream home and it was great deal, everything's fantastic, and I just loved it, I probably would sacrifice the pool, but I'd be like, we're putting in a hot tub like the second we move in. I don't think I would sacrifice location. I think location would be just like, for me, I think, location would be something that was basically like a deal breaker on some of the houses that we liked because it wasn't in the locations that worked for us. How about you?
It's funny you mentioned that because that's the only thing that came to mind is like, I don't think, knowing what I know now, I could not sacrifice on location.
Yeah.
Like I can sacrifice again. I'm in a fixer, 4-3 fixer, no pool. I was surprised to hear you say pool. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, location, like we really dug into it for I want to say months. And we've seen people go square footage and floor plan over location, and they're miserable.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like I feel like I could sacrifice on most things because I already have. Which again, not totally fair, but location is just one of them, man. You just can't. And when you see it, and you see someone who's like, "Oh, I got the big house and the pool and all the bedrooms," but it's an hour and a half out of my commute, like where I work and where my family is and where I go to school, whatever. Like, then it's like, and you see, unfortunately, I think the people I know of, I'm thinking right now, it's a new construction, right? The new construction is like so far out of their normal routine that they're like, I'm driving 20 to 30 minutes every weekend to get to the activities I used to just be right there at. So just interesting. I just wanted to kind of get inside your brain.
Well, okay, here's another thing too. I think that a lot of people romanticize the idea. Like if I was like, "Hey, Matt, I moved to Rescue. I got this amazing mansion in Rescue. I absolutely love it. When are you going to come visit?" Eh, maybe I'll see you in a little bit. I mean, like the idea that people are going to like go anywhere to see you in your big nice house. That's one of the things also that's a little bit like, that's a little tough. At least that I see. Like I think that,
Oh,
you know,
I have friends
like
who
look,
drive to South Lake Tahoe and just pass right by me. Like,
yeah.
I'm 5 minutes off the freeway, and they'll still like, nope, you're out of the way. So maybe I need new friends.
Nah, man, I'm your friend. We'll hang out. All right. Good evening. Home prices are never going down like they did in 2008. Buy when you can afford. The 600K house that you think is too expensive will be 800K in the next few years. I like that. I really like it. And I think, yeah, you're right. Time your life, don't time the market. And I'm with you. Like I was saying earlier in the broadcast, I think Sacramento is in a little bit. I mean, just because it's a slower year, whatever you want to call it. But I think like with all the stuff happening in Sacramento, I think that people are going to be so grateful they bought what they did, because in a few years, I think it's going to be just like, I was complaining that it was affordable. It wasn't affordable 2-3 years ago. Now it's just like there's no even question about that. What do you think, Matt?
No, I love this. I love this comment. It's well written, spot on.
Yeah.
6 to 8. Yeah, it'll happen. It'll happen. I just I don't see it happening in like 4 or 5 years, maybe 10, but it'll get there for sure.
Oh yeah, especially places like Folsom Ranch and yeah. I don't know. All right, we got this. What do you mean location? Like Rockland versus Folsom? You want to hit this?
Yeah, I mean, location, from my perspective, is like I wanted to live in Lane Park. My wife wanted to live in El Dorado Hills specifically because of her family. And then I was like thinking logistically, if I was in Land Park, how often would we really be in El Dorado Hills? And it was like maybe twice a month, and that's just not the lifestyle that we wanted to lead, right? We wanted to move to be closer to family, not be near family and still only see them, once in a while. So that's what I mean by location. Like, I don't think you should sacrifice location
Okay.
in your home
And what?
search.
Yeah. Like what you're going to notice in Sacramento sometimes is you'll see a sweet house, right? It's just unbelievable, and then it's like a little bit maybe like lower than it would be maybe in like I don't know, Granite Bay, right? And you see a house and it's in like Newcastle or Penryn or like Cool, and you're like, this is awesome. I love it. You start thinking, you start forgetting about like home insurance. You start looking at that as that romanticized idea of like, that's going to be that's my house. I love it. Do you see that double staircase? Oh, look at those views. Look at that. That's just great. And then you start getting, then the realism starts hitting you. You're like, okay. Like for me, my realism when I was looking at houses like that, because they're beautiful and they're awesome and you just dream of them. Part of me is going like, my father-in-law, like he doesn't drive on the freeway much, and it would have been hard for him to maybe get out there. Like as far as my daughter, her friends getting out there to visit her or getting to school to drive her to school, all those realities kind of set in. And for me, I chose Gold River because majority of my wife's family lives in Gold River. So we have that support system, but also, we have events at the house that everyone can make and everything too. So for me, my location was more like, I don't want to have this amazing, crazy MTV Cribs house, like somewhere that none of my family and none of my friends are really going to be able to access. I'm going to be sitting there by myself, in my like robe with my coffee, staring at everyone going like, yeah, there's no one here. Okay. Let's go to your mom. Let's go to your mom's house. Everyone's over there gathering. So for me, location was one of those things. I was very, very strategic, and I was like, okay, My daughter, I want her to be close to school. I want her to be in the activities. Like for us, for example, like, and I'll go into it probably a little bit more than you probably need. But at the same time, like for my location, my daughter goes to Gold River Swim Club. We're like 5 minutes from there. She goes to school. We're 5 minutes from there. Her family lives like literally 5-10 minutes away from everything here. We go to parks and everything too. So location was very, very important in my decision. I did look at houses like at Shingle Springs at one time at Cameron Park. But then, like I said, the house was amazing, absolutely gorgeous, a lot cheaper than Gold River. But the reality was, we got to drive this. We got to do this. And so for me, that's something I just didn't want to take a little bit. That's something I didn't want to sacrifice.
Makes sense.
All right. What are your thoughts about Sun River area and Rancho? Love Sun River. Actually, I was looking at Sun River as well too. I was looking at I like Sun River. I think the community's nice. I think there's no HOAs. I think, guys, also, if you guys are planning on doing something fun for Halloween, Sun River is crazy. They throw down for Halloween. Everyone's walking around. A lot of the teachers also from Gold River Elementary live in the Sun River area. The park has like Santa with a fire engine. Community, nice park for walks, playing basketball. I think Sun River could be, in my opinion, like one of the most undervalued communities that I've seen. I like the community. What do you think? Do you know Sun River, Matt?
I don't know Sun River.
Sun River's
but
nice.
You said
it's
no
kind of
HOAs, so I'm in.
No HOAs, man. No HOAs. I don't have those, the clipboard Karens and Kens cruising by taking photos like they do in Gold River sometimes. But I think Sun River is great. I think it's a nice area. I think that the houses tend to be a little smaller in Sun River, but I think the community is nice. And like I said, for me, I was okay with Sun River myself. I was looking at it. I thought it was nice. I think there's just a kind of an old school nostalgic kind of vibe about Sun River. But yeah, definitely. I think it's a good spot. And I think that if you're looking also for something 5s and 6 and you know what I mean? Like, and you don't want to deal with an HOA and you want Gold River, I think that like Gold Station might be an option. But I like Sun River a little bit better than I like Gold Station. So that's just me.
I've actually been fishing over here, actually.
It's nice, man. Yeah. Scenic, walkable. But the community part of it.
It's just this like little pocket. It just seems, and at the price point and location, like you're not too far inland. You're near the freeway. I mean, you're next to the river.
The funny thing about Sun River is there's not too many homes that pop up for sale in Sun River. That was one of the things that we ran into when we were looking. There weren't a lot of homes that popped on the market in Sun River that were for sale with the square footage and a floor plan that would work for us. But even when we were looking, nothing popped on the market that even like was on our radar just because the square footage was like 17, 18. So, that was it.
There's only 3 total listings right now. So yeah, I mean, the price points are great.
Oh yeah. We sold one in Sun River a little while ago and it flew. So yeah, I like it. All right. We got new luxury homes in Double S Ranch, which is just blown up too. While I understand the developers want to make as much money as possible, but putting homes within arm's reach of each other, it should be illegal. Now, this community, I will say, these are like half acre, and I think you can even get bigger than that for these homes. So these homes are like the one exception. If you guys are looking for Texas style homes in like the Sacramento area, guys, Double S Ranch will completely blow you away. It doesn't even feel like Sacramento. It feels like you're in Texas. These houses are like 4,000 plus square feet. ADUs, big RV garages, fantastic. If you haven't seen this video, go to the channel, check it out. Unbelievable, unparalleled. Like these houses are just stellar. All right. Are property taxes lower in Sacramento than in SoCal? What do you think, Matt? I think they are, aren't they? Or but the same?
They're the same. It just depends on like development. When we estimate property taxes, all lenders in California use 1.25% of the sales price, unless we are told different. But, I know in the Bay Area, sometimes we're at 1.3. In Oakland, we're like 1.5. New construction, you can expect anywhere from like 1.5 to 2. So it just depends. I mean, we pull property tax records within the first week of opening escrow, so we'll know what they are. And Property tax records are public record. You can actually pull them before you even make an offer. You just have to ask for help.
There we go. Now, you guys out there, if you guys are enjoying the broadcast, if you like Sacramento, love Sacramento, smash that like button. It would mean a lot to me and my buddy, the YouTube algorithm. All right. Boom. Sacramento's Magic Project. Okay, the 50. Cheaper to build another freeway over lane for most people over El Dorado looks stupid. Like looking the cap. I just can't wait for the 50 to be done. That's all I'm waiting for. Our home building stats for 2024. That scares me because I'm worried that some communities might become a ghost town. What do you think about that?
I don't see it. See it. Some communities might be a ghost town. I mean, if anything, I've seen the opposite. I mean, every new construction community, like you give it a year after it's built and everyone's walking, there's garage sales and people at the park. So what city? I'd be curious as to what city you think would become a ghost town.
West Roseville.
I'm out there I've been out there every weekend for the last 4 weeks. West Roseville is like, people are at the parks. People are out on the trails. Specifically, like West Park is where I go. It's busy.
Yeah, well, what's it called? West Park, and now that's flooded. And then you got like Fitty that's pretty much already done. Then you got like Winding Creek. Then you got like Amoroso. Like, here's the thing though, and this should be something like you know, like people are still moving in Sacramento. People are still discovering Sacramento, moving in. And it's just like we're growing and growing. There's not some weird, like, it's not a fluke that we're growing. We're growing because it's an amazing spot to live and everything too. It's not just like, oh, you know what? People moved to Sacramento for this. I mean, there's so many different reasons people move to the Sacramento area. And like, that's what West Roseville, I mean, they've been building West Roseville for a while and it's just been steady going. New schools, new commercial, new building. I mean, if you look at West Park, that was the first one, I think. And then it was like West Roseville, Fitty Mint. And then all of a sudden, Winding Creek will be its own thing. And then Solera will be its own thing. Amoroso will be. And then next thing you'll know, there'll be like 3 other areas being developed out there as well, too. It's just more people are moving in. So I wouldn't worry about it. Like I said, it's not just some random fluke. People are moving to Sacramento or this area. It's been this way for a while now. You know, and if you look at just the growth in West Roseville, I mean, I might have said West Sacramento, I didn't mean to, sorry. West Roseville, it's just going and more people are shopping. I mean, I go there all the time to show new homes and it is like Disneyland for adults out there. People are loving it, even with all the builders building out there. I mean, it's got to be the most competitive market for builders and they're still going. JMC's packed house. Then you got Richmond American, Amoroso Ranch with my favorite floor plan, the Page out there. Then you got the new one, Tri-Point, Juniper. Yeah, I think you'll be fine. But if it was me, I understand how you're feeling, though. I understand the idea when you drive out there and there's so much building, right? And there's so many new home developments and there's so much of this stuff. And I know you'd be a little freaked out, but I will tell you this. Think about all those houses that have been sold. Think about all those people that are living the houses currently. Think of all the Mellorews that's going into developing that area. Think about all that they're doing. You know, they're doing a pickleball park called Electric Pickleball over there in West Roseville. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Saw that.
You're going to be having fun. You're going to be good. Placer Parkway. Yeah, you're going to be fine. All right. Sacramento's mega project. There are many great parts and events in the Sacramento, but to Cali, it's a hot destination requires a bit of disassociation from reality. Okay. So here's what I mean about this. And I just want to reiterate this. Beginning of this year, California was that state that everyone was leaving. Beginning of 2025, and this is from Redfin. Don't ask me. There's just Redfin said it. Redfin basically said that more people were leaving California than any other state in the United States. It was just people were flooding out of California. And yet, the number one destination people were searching to move into was Sacramento, which for me is bizarre, right? So like everyone's moving out of California at the beginning of the year. Everyone's leaving, but they're looking to move into Sacramento. So for me, I look at that and it wasn't Los Angeles. It wasn't San Diego. It wasn't like anywhere else. Redfin basically said we were the number one spot people were moving into, looking to move into and moving into. That was Sacramento. So it wasn't me inventing these stats. It was Redfin. So as far as I go, I look at it and say, we're in the state where, according to Redfin at the beginning of this year, everyone was leaving. Everyone's out of California, everyone's leaving. But Sacramento still pulls that number one spot in the entire nation that people were looking to move into. That I mean, for me, I think that that's reality. I think that that's one of the things where I say to myself, like, it wasn't Dallas, wasn't Phoenix, wasn't Daytona, it was Sacramento. So there's a little Sacramento pride there. So I think we're good. All right. What do you think of the Park Shore Drive area in Folsom? It is sketchy or a great spot. The houses there seem newer and have lower listing prices than Parkway. What do you think?
Let me look it up. Park Shore Drive.
Mm-hmm.
I know Parkway.
Matt's going to look it up, and we're going to hit another question while he does. Sacramento's massive project that could cost $500 million. Very often, they'll have everyone crammed into 2 lanes with the exits closed and not a truck or shovel in sight. I know, guys, this 50 has been annoying, but like I said, next year, summer, it should be done. Tell me when you got the details. All right. Can you still buy a house in Sacramento under $500,000? You can, but it'll be a working class neighborhood like Rosemont. Yes, if it's a shed with no bathroom and running water. I kind of think all Sacramento is like, we're all working. So it's good. But I will say, though, I think the Rosemont area, Natomas, I think you're still okay. I think there's some areas near like downtown Sacramento, like your like Oak Parks, Colonial Heights. I think that under 500, I think maybe Citrus Heights, some areas of Rancho as well too. So I think there are other spots. What do you think, Matt?
Can you still buy a house? Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. Easily
Yeah.
not a fixer-upper. Most I see at that price point are fixer-uppers. But again, like, they're also on bigger lots. Like, you have to value the land at some point. You know, like, it can't just be property type. And that's why I like fixer-uppers, right? Fixer-uppers typically come with bigger lot sizes, deeper setbacks. So it's hard to really like quantify it, but I think there's plenty to buy at that price point, in my opinion.
I would say this. You'll find fixer uppers at that price point, but I also think that you'll find maybe like they just need a fresh, like, the cabinets are older and they're dated, right? I think some of these houses are dated. You can move right in if you feel like it, but they just have a dated feel to them. Do you have to do anything to them? No, it's fine, but it's more of an 80s kind of style or more of a 70s, and that's what you'll probably find. All right, you just won't get everything you want. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, if you're looking in Sacramento and if you're trying to find, huh?
I said, do you ever get everything that you want?
I don't know. I think this is like the Rolling Stone said, you just get what you need. What I will tell you though is in Sacramento, you're looking at a market where we're getting something for under $500,000 is score. Honestly, you're going to be riding the wave as Sacramento kind of hits the next growth spurt. So I think you're okay. All right, Sacramento's mega project. You guys are not thinking way ahead. This one I wanted for you, actually. This one I wanted directly for you. You guys are not thinking ahead. What about kids? It's so hot up there in El Dorado Hills, and there's nothing for kids as far as amusement. How about building the biggest indoor water park this region's ever seen? Not everyone has a pool, and the closest way to cool head over to the mountains to Tahoe. How's that going to work out? Think about it. These planners have their heads in the sand. Although I will tell you before Matt hits this one, I would love to see a water park. That'd be sweet. But okay, what do you think about that? Being someone who lives in El Dorado and having kids.
One, I know it might be a one-off here, but we just had the mildest summer. Unless this is like fake fall. Are we in fake fall up here?
We're in fake fall.
Fake fall. Okay. Assuming we're not in fake fall and things are going to stay like this, we had the mildest summer. It wasn't terribly hot this summer. No, I don't want to see a giant water park here. I think Placer County is already going to take that on. You got Sunsplash in Roseville. The nostalgia to El Dorado, I'm going to say El Dorado County is like, you don't have those amusements. So like you have the lake, you have the river, right? You go up to Lotus Park, float the river. water raft. The fishing here is absolutely awesome. So I don't think as far as like amusement goes, like you need it because you have so much accessible. I mean, whether you see mountain bikers all the time, runners, hikers, right? People on the lake, paddleboard. The paddleboard community is huge up here. I just don't think you need amusement for kids. It is hot. It gets hot. I mean, the community pools here are also awesome. You have the CSD. The Blackstone has what? Blackstone community has 3 swimming pools. Um, I don't think you need it, just because like naturally the area has so much to offer. And again, if you want it, you pop over to Roseville. It's 20 minutes away.
Okay. I like it. Here's how I feel, right? For me, growing up, I grew up in Marin. It was beautiful. But like for me, I was on my bike every single day, hanging out with my friends, doing fun stuff like playing baseball, football, basketball, being outdoors and everything too. So for me as a kid, like I don't feel like I missed out water parks or any of that stuff. I didn't feel like I missed out. You know, now and again, we'd go to Great America back in the good old battle days. But like for me, my summer was packed full of just being with my friends, going to parks, hiking trails, mountain biking, all that kind of fun stuff. Like that's what for me being a kid means. And I think Sacramento has so much of that. I think the idea that you have like those outdoor, like you can go out your front door, you can get on trails, you can go biking, you can go hiking, you can invite people over to your house if you feel like it. But at the same time, I think we forget that the best amusement park is like living here in California. I mean, this is why we're here. This is why we're not, holed up in a house in like Dallas or Houston or whatever. And we're like, we're in California, guys. I mean, like the California lifestyle, yeah, you got Tahoe close by, but do you really like need it? You got Folsom Lake, you got the American River, you got Sacramento River over there as well too. You have some farm to fork stuff. If you want to go hunt out for some veggies, you got some fun stuff to do in Sacramento. So for me, I don't know. I don't really miss the water park. I mean, I'd rather jump on a paddleboard with my daughter and cruise out there or do photography or go fishing and show her the stuff that I like to do when I was young, when I wasn't glued to my phone all the time or my iPad, like I think going out and enjoying it is fun. The other thing too, I will tell you, one of the things that I think that we take for granted is the idea that there's so much natural, like there's so many animals roaming around, right? I see owls. I see like my daughter is like obsessed with wildlife. She loves squirrels. She loves all this stuff too. Like, I love that. I love that about Sacramento, that we kind of have that outdoor kind of thing, that we can step outside and unplug from the iPad, the laptop. We don't need these amazingly crazy parks or theme parks or whatever like this. You can just say like, hey, let's go for a mountain bike ride. Like I take my beach cruisers with my daughter around Gold River and we have a blast. We're good. So for me, I think guys, you're missing it if you live here in the Sacramento area or in California in general. You're here and you're paying the taxes that everyone's complaining about because you got all the trails. You got all this beautiful, beautiful landscape that people in other cities, states would kill for. Like, enjoy it. Take your kids out for walks. Go bicycle riding. I mean, that's what I do. And I love it. So, soapbox, I'm getting off. All right, here we go. That's what I would do. Buy land in Sacramento area, in a safe area. Buy land. What do you think? Okay, where would you think you can get some land, like a house with land? I still think like Citrus Heights, some areas like by Mariposa, you could probably do it. Carmichael, what do you think?
Yeah, Orangevale. I mean, there's still a lot of lots. There's still like I see a lot of infill lots still. So, how much land are we talking? Like Shingle Springs, lots of land. Orangevale. Rescue, go out to Loomis, Lincoln. I feel like, I mean, you can go even further out, but if you're trying to stay closer to Sacramento, Elk Grove.
Yeah, you can. You just got to hunt around a little bit. And if you want to go even further, you can go like to Galt. You can go like to Dixon. I think you can go to certain areas. I mean, there is land. You just got to hunt it. Our brand says, shout out to Great America. I know I used to go there not all the time. I mean, Great America, theme parks for me growing up were like maybe a once every year type thing. We didn't go too much, but Great America, yeah, I remember Great America big time. I think they're on the last year of operation. Don't quote me. Good times, good times. I also went to Candlestick Park back in the day as well too.
There you go.
Candlestick, man. I was a diehard back in the day, and now I love the Kings. All right. Who's moving to Sacramento, California? Rates will go up. They can't help themselves. Good video, Mark, as usual. You know, I think if rates go up or rate kind of, I mean, we're going to be in for like, what is it? Like, what Games of Thrones? A cold winter. I think winter is going to be cold, man. Winter could be really, really cold. I think more realtors are going to be hurting. Lenders are probably going to be hurting as well, too. You know, that was the funniest thing. I talked to because of course I filed an extension, and my CPA was like, do you know how many realtors had to get out of the business? It was just, she's like, you don't even realize how many people are out of the business. So I think if this is cold, you could see a lot more realtors vacate the premises. So I don't know. Great America with the Edge ride. Yeah. Oh yeah. I remember when that thing was like out, everyone. Yeah, that was good. It was like, yeah. I forget what my favorite ride was there.
And they rebranded a lot. Like last I heard, wasn't it like Superman?
No, Superman was in Six Flags in Los Angeles, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Ready for this one, guys? If you guys are going to love some trivia here, Marine World used to be out there as well, too. They had 4 water slides in Marine World, all named after animals. Can you name them in the comments? I can't name them all, but I remember there were 4 water slides at Marine World back in the day. And this not in Vallejo. It was like I think it was like, where was it? In the East Bay somewhere. Not in the East Bay, but by Great America. And there were 4 water slides, all named after animals. Yeah. Ugh, yeah. Good times, man. All right. So Ross says maybe 5 to 10 acres close to Sacramento. What about over in El Centro in Natomas?
Yeah.
I would say look at the 624 as well, too. Like I said, Elk Grove ain't bad. I'd say Galt, honestly, I think Galt gets overlooked a lot, but it was rated like, I think Galt is out there. I think you can get some good land as well, too. The other spot I might look, Galt's pretty. It's a really pretty, like it's everybody seems to know each other in Galt. It's like the Gilmore Girls over in Galt.
I believe they've got a lot of 3-acre homes and 5-acre homes. So,
man.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, maybe a little far from Sac, but I think for the value, is still going to be there.
Oh, yeah. And if you go out there, hit up a friend of mine, Kinsey Alves, and she's a realtor out there. She's really good people. I'd also say maybe look in Lincoln. I think you probably get some acres out there. There seems to be a lot of land in Lincoln. It just depends how far out you want to go. Galt. No. Check out Galt. Galt is really like, you will be really like, it's weird because Galt is one of those spots where once you get in there and you start reeling and go vibe out the community, you'll absolutely love it. And then you'll start going like, this is not that bad. And then you'll pull out your GPS and go, this isn't really that far from Elk Grove or anything too. It's a good deal. I would definitely head out there. All right. Brad says McCovey, good times. Candlestick back in the, yeah, I know. Do you guys remember how cold Candlestick Park was? I used to have friends when we used to watch the Giants out there, man. They used to take their shirts off. It was freezing. Candlestick was so windy and so cold. But, I mean, that's a diehard. And, you know, I will tell you this. I do think Sacramento is a little bit like the Giants were back in the day. We didn't win that much. We had, like, Will the Thrill Clark. We even had, like, Jack Clark back in the day. We didn't do that great. But you had your fans that stuck with the Giants. And now they're, you know, their new stadium and they're like bougie and everything too. Now everyone's a Giants fan, but back in the day, man, win or lose, that's what we were all about. All right. We're aging ourselves to remember the days back. I know. Believe me. It's good though. But this is the stuff we got to tell our kids about. All right. Let's get into some fun stuff. Okay. We got this. Rates are good. I think rates myself, I think it's going to be around 6.5-ish. I don't think rates are going to be that affected. I think we're going to see it go back up to 6.5-ish when the announcement's made, but hopefully they don't. Hopefully buyers get a little bit of a break, and hopefully we see inventory keep piling on the market. I want buyers in general to get a good break. All right. Anyone been at A's game in Sacramento? How is it? I'll tell you, it's expensive, or it was expensive. I mean, tickets were like brutal. And I'll tell you something, and I say this straight up. The reason why I didn't go to the A's games is because the players threw so much shade at Sacramento. It just didn't, like, they were just like, oh, we're not here. We're not happy to be in Sacramento. They didn't put Sacramento anywhere or anything too. It just, yeah, that just didn't set right for me. And this is someone coming from the Bay Area. I was like, come on, man. It's like going to visit someone's house and like, tracking in mud. Be respectful. We're housing you guys for a couple of years. Like, enjoy the people who are coming out there paying those big price tag of tickets to see you guys play. All right, soapbox, I'm done. All right, let's go into some polls. And Matt, I will let you go for the evening. We've already gone 2 hours. Okay, we did this one already. Are tech jobs growing in Sacramento? Yes, no. What do you think?
I haven't heard of any yet. It would be nice to see, because that's the fastest way a startup can cut overhead is by moving office locations, right? Cheaper headquarters, cheaper leases. It would be nice to see. I haven't seen it yet. I'm still seeing a lot of government jobs, healthcare jobs.
Okay.
So not yet. Not
right.
that I've seen. Doesn't mean it's not out there. I would like to see more. I mean, I feel like I've read more about tech layoffs here than I have tech companies coming in.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with AI. I've heard of tech layoffs myself too. I mean, I think AI is just taking over everyone's jobs. And I feel bad about that because realtors and lenders will probably be next. Here's the thing I will tell you. Sacramento in general, I'm with Matt. I don't think tech is growing too much in Sacramento. I think though, the areas and the sectors we're growing in, state jobs, healthcare, like we got hospitals everywhere going in here. I think also infrastructure jobs, like construction jobs. I think a lot of people are starting their own landscape businesses. I think contractors are just cleaning up here. I think there's a lot of industries here that are just booming because, we're a lot of people are moving into Sacramento and a lot of people are buying these new homes and the new homes have no backyards. So a lot of people are cashing in. A lot of people are making some, creating some businesses. Entrepreneurship is huge here in the Sacramento area as well too. Also, all these schools are being built as well too. So we got a lot of teaching jobs, infrastructure jobs, admin jobs as well too. We're good, but I would love to see tech be a little stronger here in the Sacramento area. All right. Is Sacramento's job market tied to the state? What do you think?
In some capacity, yes. Not like directly, but yeah, there's a lot of funding here. I mean, I was just talking to an investor who he's solely investing because of Sac State sports, right? So it's like because of all the money that Sac State athletics has been able to raise, he thinks it's a good investment for investment property. Again, his words, not mine, but I'm not going to say the school is tied directly to the government, but they receive government funding. So,
Matt, when did you start working with Shaq? Come on. Come on. Does he need a realtor? Tell him we can go out looking for houses. I know really big houses.
Man, that would be I've always wanted to work with Shaq.
Hey, Shaquille O'Neal, if you're listening to this, we love you. Welcome to Sacramento. All right.
Sacramento, my wife calls it.
Oh, I like that. The house at Shaq. No. All right. Are rents going up in Sacramento? Here's the thing about rents that's funny is I think that in general, if something is for rent, I would say some of the new home areas maybe a little soft as far as the rents go and everything too, but a lot of stuff, I think rents are going up. What do you think?
I've seen small increases, stable, but small increases, not like what I'm hearing about in the Bay where it's, doubling. So I still think they're inching higher. I mean, when you compare it to, what are you comparing it to? From 2020, they're up substantially.
Yeah.
They're up substantially from 2020. If you're talking last year, not really, not so much.
Well, I mean, I think also the gauge is how many investors are actually interested in Sacramento. You see what I mean? And I think investors have waned a little in Sacramento. Remember back in the day, I mean, I'd had investors coming in. They're like, we want to buy 3 single family homes this weekend. And now they're being a little more strategic. And I don't think it's as attractive as it was before. So I think that rents are not increasing as much as they used to. I think it's still pretty solid for rents, but they're not making that crazy ROI that they used to. You know what I mean?
Yep. I mean, again, the things I've looked at too from an investment standpoint don't pencil from a cash flow perspective. So, I don't know. Are rents going up? Not yet, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Daniel said he paid $180 for A's tickets, or he's asking. I don't know. All right. I don't think it's going to boom. People are still cash broke. Only barely people are buying. Here's the thing. I think that eventually, if rates rates are probably going to drop sometime. I mean, I'm not saying this year, next year, even the year after, but I think basically I look at it this way. I say to myself, like, if you like the California lifestyle, and I mean, I think here's the thing. I mean, I think if you're buying into Sacramento, there's got to be a part of you that says, like, I like California. California works for me, right? Or you're leaving to Texas or going to Boise, whatever you're doing. But for the most part, if you go, I want California, I want something that gives me the California lifestyle, I still think Sacramento is positioned well to eventually have another growth spurt. Will we see a boom like we did with COVID where everyone all of a sudden gets $200,000 instant appreciation? Nah, unless there's some kind of like, and I'll say what Matt is probably going to say, unless we see some kind of black swan event, right? But yeah.
Yeah, but Victor brings up a great point, because this is not the first time I heard this, which is there are some economists and some people predicting the market that this will be the first time that rates come down and prices stay flat, because the savings isn't there yet. People are cash strapped. They've gone through 3 years of hardship and inflationary times. They don't have the cash for the down payment, and so therefore prices will stay flat. So Victor brings up a good point. This is the first time I'm ever hearing this argument in 10 years that I've been doing this, that rates will come down and the market actually might stay flat. So it is good to pay attention to.
Well, it is interesting, right? Because I mean, if you saw earlier in the broadcast, we showed you that rates kind of did a nosedive, and normally that floods them in. I mean, they're not even waiting for the Fed announcement. They're like hitting the market and like crazy. It's just not really seems to be on the radar. A lot of people seem to be maybe getting ready for the holidays already, early fake fall, so I don't know. Fall. Yeah, it's an interesting market. Like I said, there's a lot of things that happen that we expect to see, like, oh, that just happened, so buyers are going to jump back in. And I think buyers kicked in the teeth. I think buyers are cash strapped, and I just haven't seen the movement that you normally see. It will be interesting. It will be very interesting when you see those sellers that really have to sell what they do. Because I mean, like we mentioned that at house in Folsom, we were talking about, like, okay, you stay at 1.35 and you don't sell, but I have to sell. Well, you got to drop your price, and Matt's got an offer for you for 1.2. Well, that's not fair. That's the market. So it is really going to be interesting how everything rolls out. All right, Victor, rents will always go up. When in history have you seen rent prices decrease? I like Victor. We should have had Victor on too.
Victor sounds smart.
He does. All right. Only people who bought in the 90s are making money on rents. All right, Victor, I'm sending you a link. You're jumping in.
Not only in the 90s, but yeah, the point's valid. Point's valid.
Shoot, I'd say 90s and back in when rates were 2.75. All right. A lot of people who own businesses are not seeing people spending like even 10 years ago. Yeah, that's definitely it. I mean, that I'm definitely seeing in the Sacramento area straight up. I mean, people are definitely like,
restaurants, like, I mean, I feel like it's all small business.
Yeah. And I think that, like, if you are starting a business or whatnot, you just got to be very strategic. I also do think the network you run with dictates a lot of times what your business is going to do as well too. But at the same time, I got to agree with Victor on this one too. Like, I think, we're just not seeing people spend like they were before. It's a shame. I think one of the things about Sacramento in general is that our entrepreneurship is really high. I think people want to start businesses, but I think you're just nervous too because of everything that's happened the last few years. So it's a shame. Hopefully somehow we get a little bit of a push in that direction in the future, but I don't know. I'm very, very, very skeptical on that. All right. We're going to end the show with this one, Matt. Is Sacramento's housing market slowing down in 2025? What do you think?
It never heated up. We're still on ice from last year, Like, I mean, if you look at, it depends on what metric you're looking at, but if you look at sold transactions, I think across the board, we're down 30 or 40% of our peak. So, like, is it slowing down? Yeah, but we've been slow, So I would say it's just 2025. but it's not fast.
No, it's definitely going slow. I mean, I would say, like I said, I mean, I think you can still like do business in 2025 and everything too. I think, but you're going to see it probably cool down. I mean, not cool down, probably keep cool. Let's just say that 2025. And I think even the beginning of 2026, I think if anything, as far as thawing off and getting a little bit more of a pulse, I think maybe spring 2026. I mean, that's just what I'm seeing. But like I said, all bets are off. If rates start dropping, all bets are off. If some crazy stuff starts happening in the news, we go to war, whatever, all bets are off. But right now, for me, I think like we're going to get the rate announcement on the 17th. And I think that, people aren't going to realize that stuff has already been baked into the mortgage rates. And I think they're going to confuse maybe the Fed rate with the mortgage interest rates as well too. And I think that we could see a cold end of this year. Hopefully not. Hopefully you guys get your dream home and forever home and all that stuff too. But I do think that, I think there's more of a chance of a colder 2025 than a heating up 2025. What do you think, Matt?
I do. I think again, the closer we get, and there's some products already there. We're under 6%, the market really moves. So the average 30-year fixed is 6.25% right now. But again, with seller incentives, builder incentives, you can get under 6. I just think the smart people will find a way to do that and buy before the average rate actually hits under that 6% mark. So that's the biggest thing right now is like there's already ways to do it, but not everybody knows about it.
Well, there's ways to do it, but also some people know about it and they just don't want to do it. It's just a really weird kind of like a lethargic market right now too. But guys, here's the thing. I'll end it with this. Sacramento is still an amazing spot to live, like I said, and don't time your life or don't time the market, time your life. If the time's right for you, at least educate yourself on the market. I still love the fact that I live in the Sacramento area. I love the area, love the people, wouldn't change it for anything. I think Sacramento is still chugging along better than other markets like in Dallas, Phoenix, or Las Vegas. And I'm really, I just love the area, love the people. And for anyone thinking Sacramento, come out here, do the Pepsi challenge. And honestly, there been so many people that we brought out here who weren't sure about Sacramento and they're leaving looking at houses. So I would definitely say, come out here and take a look. Matt is one of the top mortgage professionals in the Sacramento area. He works all California, but he knows in and outs of Sacramento. There's a link in the description to reach out to Matt. I would definitely say, give him a call, talk to him a little bit. He knows so many things, the ins and outs of getting someone pre-qualified, if it's the right time to buy, if it's the time for you to wait. He is just the man, the myth, the legend. So Matt, any parting words before we bid the people adios?
Thank you, first and foremost. And something I've come to realize, and I've been telling my clients this, I want to share it with your audience, is, a lot of real estate's hindsight. You're not going to know whether you made a smart move until after you made the move. That's just how real estate works. Like, we can speculate, we can forecast on what it's going to be like, but hindsight is everything when it comes to real estate. And so not until you're in the home and maybe you even sold it is when you can really determine this was a good decision for me. So just kind of keep that in mind, is hindsight's everything in this when you purchase real estate.
Now, 110%. Guys, if you enjoyed the live broadcast too, 2 hours. We did this just for you. Like I said, next Wednesday I'll be doing live, and on Friday I'll be dropping a video at 7 p.m. Smash that like button, share the video, tell a friend, comment, all that kind of fun stuff. Until next week, guys, this is Mark. Like I said, Friday at 7, I'll drop another video. Matt, thank you once again. Okay, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the Sacramento real estate market update that we do every single Wednesday live at 7 p.m. on YouTube just for you. If you enjoyed the show, or if you have any comments and questions, put them below, smash that like button. And guys, like I said, this is a weekly show that we do live just for you. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the show. Let me ask you though, do you think interest rates are going to go down towards the end of this year, or do you think they're going to go back up? I want to know what you think in the comments below. Now, we are a real estate team in the area, so if you are thinking about making the move to Sacramento, or if you have some questions about the Sacramento area, guys, there's a Zoom link below. Hit that Zoom link and let's get on a call. Answer all the questions you might have about the Sacramento area. Now, here's the thing. You might not want to wait for a Zoom call. There's also my phone number, my private phone number. Text me, call me, let's talk real estate in the Sacramento area. That's what I live for, sad but true. So hit me, let's talk. Now, if you're someone who lives in the Sacramento area and you're thinking about selling your home, well, guys, we sell homes in the Sacramento area, Bay Area, and Lake Tahoe. So if that's you and you're thinking about selling your home and guys, you just don't want that post on the ground, cross your fingers, put it on the MLS Realtor, guys, we do all those things, but we also market on YouTube, Instagram, all the social platforms. And we'd love to talk to you, show you our metrics, and show you how we've sold actually 10 homes with social media. It's pretty amazing. Now, one last thing before I go, there's a video playlist right over there of other videos I've done about the Sacramento area. Knowledge is power, guys. Those videos right there will give you the power to understand Sacramento. It is crazy, but guys, I've been doing videos for like I don't know, 7 years, and that archive of videos is going to help you get a little bit acclimated, get those questions answered, and get you to the next stage of possibly moving to Sacramento. All right, guys, this is Mark. Have a good one. Until the next video.